Nebraska ETV Sports presents the Nebraska High School Football Championships, live from Memorial Stadium in Lincoln, Nebraska. Today, in the D2 game, it's the Dodge Pirates versus the Butte Wildcats. This Nebraska ETV Sports exclusive is made possible in part by Alltel, providers of long-distance, wireless, and internet services. Alltel, the power to simplify. And by U.S. Bank, a premier partner of the Nebraska School Activities Association. And a good morning to you, everyone. Welcome to Memorial Stadium and welcome to the 1999 State High School Football Championships. I'm Kevin Kugler, and we're sure excited to be here with you today and for the next several days as we bring you all 6 Nebraska State High School Football Championships. And we start off with a great one today in Class D2 between Butte and Dodge. For Dodge, coming to the state finals is old hat. This is their 5th trip in the last 6 seasons. And in their previous 4 trips, they're 4-0, so they've got this state finals thing down to a science. Now, for the Butte Wildcats, they're no stranger to state finals pressure either. They are the defending D2 state champions, and they're looking for 2 in a row here today at Memorial Stadium. Let me bring in my partner, Mr. Adrian Fiala. And Adrian, I know we're excited to be here, but those kids have got to be thrilled to be playing here at Memorial Stadium.
Oh, absolutely, Kevin. You know, it's a time of their life down there on that football field. You mentioned that these teams have been here combined 9 times in the last 3 or 4 years. But again, it's always a great experience for these kids. They love to come here. And, you know, afterwards, when we see in the summertime, maybe some comments from people playing in all-star games, comments they make after the game, they say the highlight of their career is to play here at the University of Nebraska. And it's special this year because they're playing on the new field turf, and it's a great experience to do that.
Oh, it's going to be a lot of fun today for these kids and for us as well. And when you look at these 2 teams, Adrian, they have similar concerns, really similar teams coming into today's game.
You bet, Kevin. Both teams are concerned about speed and big plays. Both coaches have talked about that. They're concerned about the plays, the very plays that they make, while they're concerned about the other team making those plays. Ron Lund told me that they have to be very concerned about great speed.
Well, the road to the playoffs for these 2 teams was a little bit different. Butte had to get a little bit of revenge on their way to the state championship. For Dodge, everything's been rolling together for them.
You bet. They played against Chambers in the playoffs. Kevin had a 1-point loss earlier on in the year, came back in the playoffs, and then won against Chambers by a pretty good score. But both teams had relatively easy times in the playoffs, and Dodge came back and they won all 4 of their games, 25 points given up by the defense. So again, cruising through the playoffs, and they're ready to play in this final match.
Well, it's going to be a lot of fun here today in the D2 state championship for Butte and Dodge. A lot on the line today, Adrian. These state championships are something special.
You bet it is, Kevin. And everybody's going to be out there this afternoon giving their level best to win another state championship.
It's been a few years now since they moved these state championships to Memorial Stadium, and to a man, every single player and coach that we've talked to loves coming to Lincoln to play. And why wouldn't you? Look at that tropic weather here today, 66 degrees, clear skies. It is a bit windy, south winds at 29 miles an hour, but here we are in late November, mid-November, and it's 66 degrees. I don't care if the wind's knocking the stadium over. It's going to be a nice day. Brent Ballou, your referee, and you look at the rest of the officials, J.D. Wilson, Wayne Vance, Don Kopp, and Dennis Vance, your officials today. 8-man football, Adrian, and it's a fun game. It's a fast-paced game, and we'll see some points scored today.
A lot of offense, Kevin. You can always count on that being the case. A tremendous speed, a lot of sprinters in the backfield. You've got to be able to run to play this game. You just can't be one of those 5'3" guys and expect to play 8-man football. Tell you what, you talked about the weather. Over in Hawaii, they have a saying for that, just another lousy day in paradise. And it's not quite Hawaii weather today. It has been here in the recent past, but 66 degrees at this time of the year here in this part of the state is outstanding. So beautiful day. That wind today out of the south, as you said, at 29 miles an hour, gusting to 35. That will be a factor as far as passing goes. But quite frankly, you don't expect a lot of passing to occur in these ball games. So there will be some passing that will happen, but obviously most of what we are going to see is going to be on the ground. And a lot of that, Jerry Lever for the Butte Wildcats, tremendous rusher, over 1,500 yards on the year for that young man. And Tyler Paulson for Dodge, he leads their team in rushing this year, over 1,900 yards for him.
Butte at 11-1, Dodge on the season also 11-1, and the Dodge Pirates will get the football first to start it off, as Butte will kick it off. You look at Dodge there, their years at state 8, their most recent 1998 for the Dodge Pirates, and in 1998 they fell a little short. but they are state champions from 97, 96, 95, and 94. So both of these teams with a wealth of experience at state tournament and in the state finals.
Tell you what, all you got to do is just take the same hat and put a different pin on it. 94, 95, 96, 97. It took a little break in 98 and came back this year to see what they can do. 4-time state champion. And obviously, as Kevin told you a moment ago, Butte, the defending state champion from last year, runner-up 3 times in 89, 95, and 96. They lost twice to Dodge. Here comes the kickoff.
Lance Willits to kick it off, and this one a deep kickoff sailing into the end zone for the touchback over the head of Jared Franz Lubers. And so the Dodge Pirates will go on offense first, led by Clint Eichmeyer, a 6-foot, 195-pound senior at quarterback. This is a kid that took over this year at quarterback. Starts at quarterback. He's the linebacker. He's the kicker. He's the punter. And when you play 8-man football, that's what you have to do. If you're a multi-talented kid, they're going to find ways to get you on the field, and they have with Clint Eichmeyer, that's for sure. There's a look at your starters. Jared Franz Lubers, Tyler Paulson, Zach Parr, and Casey Eichmeyer. Down in the backfield and up on the front, Bryce Johnson, Kelly Likas, and Dan Marish. First down and 10 yards to go, and they give up the middle to the tailback. That's Tyler Paulson. The senior gets about 2 or 3 yards out to the 17-yard line. For a gain of 2, it'll be 2nd down and 8.
Good tackle that time by Dusty Coburn. He was coming up from the linebacker spot. 63 tackles on the year. He has a couple of pass interceptions. Also playing a little bit, well, actually playing more of a corner than the linebacker spot.
Paulson will get a lot of carries. He's got 1,900 yards on the year. He gets it on the toss this time. Good block out in front. He's across the 20 and dragged out of bounds by Lever at about the 24-yard line. And that's going to be awfully close to a first down for the Dodge Pirates, probably about a yard shy.
You talk about a good block. It was by Jared Franzlubers who put the block on the defender over there on the far side. And, man, I want to tell you, that was classic form for blocking. He just put the helmet right on the numbers and drove right straight through him and knocked the opponent, the defender, right back out of his shoes, quite frankly. Great block, Jared Franzlubers.
Paulson's a tough runner, and you saw Lever. He had some problems dragging him out of bounds. Paulson kind of drug Lever out of bounds. 3rd down and 2, and they give it to the first back through. This is Franzlubers, and he's stacked up at about the 27-yard line. That'll be enough, though, for a Dodge first down. And Dodge is starting off the way they've gone all through the playoffs, Adrian. They have rolled through the playoffs. Look at the defense first, though, for the Butte Wildcats. Coburn, Lechtenberg, Lever, and Willits, the backs and linebackers. And for up front, it's Schrotland, Clausen, Ryman, and Woodruff for the Butte Wildcats defense. Butte in the maroon and white, blue and white for Dodge. And up the middle, the carry goes to Paulson, and Paulson drugged down by Cody Clausen after a pickup of about 2 yards to the 29-yard line. 2nd and 8 coming up.
Well, you know, Kevin, when you have a couple of running backs like Tyler Paulson and Jared Franzlubers, both of these guys very active with the ball. Paulson getting obviously more carries than Franzlubers has this year. But they both rush for good averages. Franzlubers a 9.9 per carry average, and Paulson just over a 10 average. So you have that kind of ability to pick up yardage. It makes it pretty easy for your offense.
How about a 10-yard per carry average for a running back? That's not bad. Split backs in the backfield. They'll run the option and the keeper for Eichmeyer. He doesn't get much. Good tackle in there made by Clark Woodruff, the junior defensive end, who snuck out there and stopped Eichmeyer after only a 1-yard gain. 3rd and 6 coming up for the Dodge Pirates. And look at it again.
If he's able to get by Woodruff on this play, he's got some room to go. He, meaning Eichmeyer, the quarterback, is looking for that option play going down the left side of the line. But fortunately for Butte, Woodruff makes a great solid tackle, good open field tackle right there, and drives Eichmeyer down. 6 foot 195, Clint Eichmeyer.
Eichmeyer under center on 3rd down. They give it up the middle. Here goes Paulson, and Paulson's going to go. The first touchdown of the D2 championship will be scored by the Pirates and Tyler Paulson.
That's some great blocking up front. There you see Paulson, 5'9", 185, right up the middle. An excellent blocking by Bryce Johnson, Dan Marish up there, Kelly Likas. They cleared the way. The big hole up there to the front, right to the right side of the offensive center there. And it was goodbye. There you see the trap block by number 55. That was Bryce Johnson, as we talked about. And I tell you what, Kevin, you could have driven your Hyundai through that hole.
How about Franzlubers there with the block out of the running back spot out of the fullback position? He really opened up that big hole as well, and Paulson got through there. Has good speed, this Tyler Paulson. He showed it off on that touchdown run. On 3rd and 6, he scooted in, and they're going for 2 with 9:54 to play first quarter. And they give it right up the middle to Franzlubers, and he gets the 2-point conversion. It's 8-0. The Pirates out in front early on in this one, and the Pirate fans very excited about that first drive.
One thing we should point out here is that the Dodge offensive line a little bit bigger than the average line you're going to see. Bryce Johnson goes 6'4", 215. Kelly Likas, the guard, he also 6'4", 215. And Dan Mary, 6'2", 175. And Johnson is the guy who got the good trap block there that got that whole touchdown play started, followed up by the good ISO block up in the hole by Franz Lubers.
Clint Eichmeyer to kick it off for the Pirates. Now Butte will try to answer on their first offensive possession. As we mentioned, the Pirates have rolled through the last 8 games. Not one game has finished. It's not gone its distance. 45-point rule is in effect in Class D football. Once you get a 45-point lead after the first half, the game is over, and their game has been over the last 8 games.
You see the ball coming off the kicking tee down there. Again, a fairly brisk wind down there on the field. 29 miles an hour at game time, gusting to 35. And we see the flags high atop Memorial Stadium here, out stiff to the wind, blowing directly to the northeast.
Kickoff by Eichmeyer, taken at about the 5-yard line by Jerry Lever. Lever with a little running room makes a nice move and is out past the 20, about the 21-yard line where Zach Parr drags him down.
A little bit of razzle-dazzle on the kickoff play. You saw the fake reverse on the play, and sometimes here in this ball game, one time you're going to see that happen. You see part of the crowd here coming in.
And a look at your starting lineup: Lechtenberg, Lever, Willits, Warnke, and Clausen for the Butte Wildcats in the backfield, and up front Nolan, Schroetland, and Woodruff. And the Wildcats set 1st and 10. They mark it right at the 20-yard line. Shorter field in 8-man football, so what is the 30 on the field is actually the 20 in play. And the handoff up the middle goes to Willits, and he moves it ahead about 7 yards to the 27-yard line. Eric Harms on the stop.
That time linebackers for Dodge plugging on the play. Right linebacker coming across very quickly at the snap of the football. Ball goes up the middle, about an 8-yard gain on the play, make it 7-yard gain.
9:20 to go first quarter, 8-0. Dodge in the lead, Butte with their first possession. And they give it up the middle again to Willits, and Willits pushing his way toward the stick, and I think he's going to have a first down, Aid, after a 3-yard gain. Should be enough to get the sticks moving on first down, the first down for Butte.
Look to me, forward progress would give them. Indeed it is. First down is signaled by the referee, Brent Ballou, here this afternoon. As this Butte team running kind of a counter up inside there. The offside back coming in to block, and then the running back running in behind him, and Willits showing some real tough running ability, some tough yards in there to pick up that first down.
Willits with 244 yards rushing on the season, 58 carries during the year. He's already got 2 in the early going out of the I formation. They'll give it to the back, Jerry Lever, and Lever lunges forward for a gain of 2. Casey Eichmeyer on the stop. And a look at the Dodge Pirate defense: Parr, Eichmeyer, Tyler Paulson, and Jared Franz Lubers. Your backs and linebackers for the Dodge Pirates. And up front, Bryce Johnson, Dan Marish, Casey Eichmeyer, and Eric Harms. Got to be a good athlete if you're going to play 8-man football. They need you at a lot of positions. You'll recognize these kids all day long because they play both ways for the most part.
Good athlete, tremendous shape. Be able to take a bump or bruise every now and then.
More than one, I would imagine.
I would think so.
Lechtenberg on the play fake. He rolls in the first pass of the day, lofted deep downfield towards Warnke, and it's overthrown incomplete. He's got the wind at his back, and it looked like the wind may have picked up that ball and carried it a little bit.
Got a little bit of help, no question about that, Kevin, on that pass. But again, good play action that time by Butte, faking the bootleg to the right side, coming back to the left side, that is, coming back to throw to the right side, and trying to get the ball to Warnke, crossing down the field, but it was thrown right into double coverage. And again, the wind-aided pass sailing about 4 or 5 yards over his head.
They're down in 9, 32-yard line. Dodge leading 8-0 first quarter. Lechtenberg runs into his deep back and gives off to Lever, and Lever has nowhere to go. Clint Eichmeyer was in the backfield. When you run into your tailback or your fullback to start off the play, it usually goes downhill from there.
Well, it usually does, and usually you give your fullback an assisted tackle on the play. Let's take a look at it again here. Again, you see that little collision right there, and that just upsets the timing enough on the play to really give your defense an advantage there. Let them move into their lanes, make the tackle. That brings up 4th down, and Butte will kick it away now.
Jerry Lever, who was just tackled on that play, back to punt, averaging 31 yards a punt. And this is a terrible kick. Gets it off the side of his foot. May have been partially blocked in there. If it wasn't, it just came off the side of his foot, and Dodge is going to be in great shape inside Butte territory.
You know, Kevin, I'm not exactly sure. I don't know if we have that again or not, but it didn't look like the defender had a hand on the football there. I think he shanked it, quite frankly. Let's take another look here.
Great angle.
Yeah,
no,
he just shanked it. He just shanked it. Yeah, it just came off the inside, and bingo. Dodge gets the ball, and you cannot give Dodge the football in this kind of shape. You want to make them run the long field, and right now they have the very short field to go.
On the 32-yard line, and they give it to Tyler Paulson again, and Paulson dragged down by Art Schroetland after about a 4-yard gain down to the 28-yard line. Second down from there.
Tyler Paulson, a track sprinter for this Dodge team, set a new school record last year in 100 meters. Ran that distance in 10.9, moving right along. You compare that to somebody like Eric Crouch. Eric, a 10.4 guy. But again, it's still tremendously good speed for Tyler Paulson.
We saw it on that touchdown run early in the game. On the toss to Franz Lubers on 2nd and 6, and he slips down at about the 24, 23-yard line with a little help, of course, from Jerry Lever, who was wrapped around his collar to help him slip down.
Going to hear that name a lot today, Jerry Lever, number 20. He does it all. He was an all-state quarterback last year for Butte. He moved to running back this year, so Kyle Lechtenberg could take over at quarterback. But you talk about Franz Lubers and speed. He also is a sprinter on the track team. 11-1 state qualifier last year. So they have excellent speed in Paulson and Franz Lubers.
3rd down and a yard to go. They mark it just outside the 23-yard line, and they go right up the middle to Franz Lubers, and he goes right into the end zone for the score. Making it look easy right now, the Dodge Pirates with a big early lead.
Well, the Butte defense that time was slanting to the left side. They thought they had a play diagnosed coming to the defensive right side, and so they slanted. And let's see it again. Watch those guys in the maroon shirts are going to slant over to that other side, and Franz Lubers, once he gets by the line of scrimmage, there's nobody there. And it just clears sailing for number 43, Jared Franz Lubers.
They'll go for 2 again. They fake the give up the middle, toss towards the end zone, intended for Parr, and it's incomplete. They wanted Zach Parr, the tight end. He knocked down one of the photographers down there, and then he's good enough to help him up.
That's a danger down there, man. I have seen some tremendous collisions down there. Years ago, Kevin, doing the sideline mic, for the Huskers back in the late 70s. I'll never forget it was California, and there was a TV photographer kneeling down right on the sidelines, and here comes the play. Let's see. We'll see it again here. Watch this. The tight end is going to just take the cameraman head on, and I'll tell you who's going to win.
It's the guy in the gear. That's an easy
call.
one.
Get out of the way. See, he had a chance to get away there, and boom. But the cameraman in that Cal game, I'll never forget, he was out cold. And you never want to take your eye off what's happening out there. But again, everybody is okay. That's good to see, and we're ready to go as Dodge. Really, the Pirates here are looking to steal one early, 14-0. 6:19 left here in the first quarter.
And it has been all Dodge, and you talked about it in the opening, Aid, about big plays. Big plays have dictated this one, and that one juggled on the sideline, and it'll be kept by Butte. But I believe it was out there Chad Warnke who was going to let it roll out of bounds, and in the field turf it just stuck like a wedge shot, and it wouldn't go anywhere, and he had to pick it up.
Tell you, on a kickoff, you can't be too cute with it. It's a live football, so you better make your call early and go with the ball. Either catch it and go or take it out of bounds, but don't fool around with it back there. As Butte breaks the huddle, they're ready to go.
Butte with it 1st and 10 on their own 18-yard line. A little bit of work to do, and they'll try Lever up the middle. Lever spinning off tackles down to about the 25-yard line. Pickup of 7 before Clint Eichmeyer was finally able to wrestle him down.
Lever this year, 214 carries, 1,571 yards. He's also an excellent pass receiver, 17 receptions, 335 yards, just over 1,900 yards of total offense for Jerry Lever.
And Lever's he's one of only 2 starters that they even brought back from last year's D2 state champion, so they've got a lot of new faces in there. On the option, keeper this time, Lechtenberg nowhere to go. He is snowed under by Pirates, leading the charge. Zach Parr from his linebacker spot. Also Eichmeyer in there on the stop, and there was a lot of blue and white and not much green ahead for Lechtenberg.
And it really was Clint Eichmeyer, Kevin, who was coming on the blitz that time. He found that scrape to the left side, went right in that lane, and came up big with the tackle. Senior Clint Eichmeyer.
3rd down and 4, 5:18 to play first quarter, 14-0 Dodge in the lead. They'll give it to Lever, and great open field tackle made by Zach Parr. saved a first down because Lever had some running room, but Parr got him in the open field right around the ankles, and Butte will have to punt it away.
Linebacker showing tremendous quickness out there. First Eichmeyer on that previous play, and now Parr on this play. Linebackers very active in the ball game thus far. That will create another kicking situation here for the Butte Wildcats.
Terrific play by Zach Parr and a great tackle. Lever didn't have a great punt last time, and they've got him lined up a little differently now. Lever will try to get it away, and this one's a boomer. With the wind at his back, it's going to sail into the end zone, and that'll be a touchback.
Well, you know, Kevin, Ron Lund was telling me when I visited with him last night about his concern about big plays, and not only by the Butte Wildcats, but he was concerned he wanted his team to make the big plays too. We have seen that here on a couple of occasions, big plays for touchdowns. His defense, however, has come up big here in this first quarter. His defense, meaning Ron Lund's defense, in the playoffs. They had only given up 25 points in those 4 playoff games, and they look like they're going to step in that direction here today. A lot of football left to play, but again, their defense playing very well thus far.
Some great individual plays on that defensive side. First and 10, fumble on the play. The ball is loose, and I think Butte's got it. Looks like Lance Willits pounced on it at the 15-yard line. And a huge break for the Wildcats, and they needed a break because Dodge was storming, but a fumble on the play. Willits scoops it up.
Willits has been an excellent defender for this Butte Wildcat football team this year. 93 tackles. He has a sack, a pass interception. He's blocked a couple of kicks, and now add a fumble recovery to that. And what a fumble recovery it is. A huge recovery gives them the ball in great shape here, ready to move it on in if they can get some offense moving.
Looked like Jerry Lever was the one who stripped it. And Lever will get the carry on first down. He breaks the tackle, spins it to the outside and down near the 5-yard line. That'll be enough for a Wildcat first down. First and goal coming up for Butte. And this could be a game-changing fumble, Abe.
You bet. I tell you what, again, Kevin, how many times have we seen it this year? All across the board in terms of what turnovers do. And now this fumble recovery by Willits gives his team an opportunity. They go right away out to the right side, toss sweep over there to the right side, and Tyler Paulson makes it a or a touchdown-saving tackle as the Wildcats now are at the line of scrimmage.
First down and goal from the 5-yard line. Handoff up the middle to Lever, spins it outside. There's nowhere to go. A host of Pirates dragging him out of bounds. And Lever didn't have a whole lot of running room that time. Parr was out there and also spinning out on that play. I believe Clint Eichmeyer in on the tackle as well.
Zach Parr leading the charge that time. He did not want to allow a touchdown. You see the blocking over there on the right side. Schroetlin and Clausen making the blocks, trying to get that young man, Jerry Lever, into the end zone. It'll be third down now. To check that second down.
Dan Marish also in on the stop. Second down, they gave him a yard to the 4-yard line. Second and goal from the 4. They fake the toss, throw towards the end zone. Touchdown. Touchdown, Butte Wildcats, and number 38, Chad Warnke.
Excellent execution that time by the Butte Wildcats. And again, you see what that fumble down there in Dodge territory did for the Dodge Pirates. It created the scoring opportunity and the score for the Butte Wildcats. A good play action that time. Lechtenberg faking that toss to the right side, takes 2 steps back and finds his receiver right at the goal line. And that was Warnke, and he's had 24 receptions, make it 25 now. 12 touchdowns and make it 13.
They'll go for 2. Lechtenberg into the end zone, and it's dropped on the 2-point conversion try. He had his man there. It was his tight end, Cody Clausen, and Clausen just couldn't hang on for the 2-point conversion. 14-6, the score. Dodge in the lead.
One thing about the Butte Wildcats on this drive, we'll see it again here. Again, excellent execution by Lechtenberg, and the ball is thrown right into Clausen's midsection, but unfortunately he drops it. So they do not get the 2-pointer. 14-6.
You can see the wind, the way the flags are whipping along. We mentioned 29 miles an hour at kickoff, gusting to 35, and it has been a factor early on with that punt by Lever early in the game that led to the second Dodge touchdown. That punt shanked off the side of the foot. Some passes have been overthrown today.
It's been that sort of day, Kevin, and now, but Butte back in this football game. There was a chance there for a moment that it was going to slip away here in the early going as the ball blown off the tee again. The wind really gusting down there. But again, they have taken advantage of field position on that fumble recovery by Lance Willits, and they move it on in for a score, and they narrow the margin now to 8 points. We're going to have a holder now on the kickoff as Willits will get set to kick it off.
Willits with the wind at his back. Gets off a line drive kick through the end zone and into the stands almost. And Willits booming that one off, and it'll be out to the 15-yard line where the Dodge Pirates will start 1st and 10.
Looked like a line drive off the bat of Joe Vitiello for the Omaha.
Hopefully
Golden
Joe
Spikes.
Vitiello is going to stick with the Kansas City Royals next year.
Let's hope so.
We won't see him this summer if all goes well.
Obviously, fans, one of our favorite ball players up in Omaha. Here we go, back to the action.
Paulson on the toss, and he has some running room. Driven out of bounds near the 30 or the 24-yard line by Lance Willits. Willits gets to Paulson, but not before Paulson scoots ahead for 8 or 9 yards on a 1st down carry. And a good job of blocking up front again by these Pirates.
Zach Parr over there, Bryce Johnson, Dan Marish, Kelly Likas on the right side. That play went left, but those guys on the left side, or check at the right side.
It is 2nd and 2, 23-yard line. Still 3:23 to play in the 1st quarter, and to throw. Back is Eichmeyer. He's got his man out there near the 30-yard line. It's Zach Parr, and drugged down by Dusty Coburn at the 29-yard line. It's enough for a Dodge 1st down.
Nice little route that time by Zach Parr, 6 foot, 190 pounds. 13th reception on the year. Prior to that reception, 236 yards. See it here again. A good play action that time by Eichmeyer, and he just lays it out there. Parr waiting for the football. Nice fingertip grab right up around the helmet. Not a chance to turn around and go with it. Here's the play.
Paulson up the middle on 1st down and across the 35-yard line down near the 37. Clausen on the tackle again. Cody Clausen's been active from that defensive line spot, and of course Paulson's been active from that running back spot.
Yeah, Clausen probably would just assume that he not be so active as Paulson. Paulson has really been a major workhorse again. Watch the yards after contact here. He's hit right there, and he picks up about really at about another 5 yards right after he gets hit that first time. Good tough run by Tyler Paulson.
Franz Lubers breaks through the initial contact and has a lot of running room down near the 25-yard line of Butte. Coburn and Lechtenberg finally caught up with him. But once you get past that initial line in 8-man football, Adrian, there's not a lot back there.
Yeah, you better be ready to go. You better be ready to turn the jets on because it could be 60 days to the race. Look at this right here. See how tight those linebackers are? And good block right there. I'm not sorry to get the number of the guy who's making that block. Probably was Danny Marish, I would suspect. But once you get by those linebackers playing that tight, you're going to get going.
1st and 10, 24-yard line. 2:15 to play 1st quarter. They'll run the option to the left side. The toss to Paulson. Paulson gets a great block out in front, and he dives over the 10-yard line. Coburn trips him up and makes the touchdown-saving tackle at the 8.
Again, so well executed. The Dodge Pirates coming out today and really running the football and executing as well as you can run it. Look at this right here. Waiting, optioning off the end right there. That's 48 Woodruff. And then, boom, he's off to the races. Oh, man, just a shoe-top tackle. Coburn, a shoe-top tackle. He doesn't make that tackle off the shoe-tops. It's 6.
1st and goal from the 8. Paulson gets the carry. Stutter step in the backfield, but he's got all kinds of problems as Wildcats surround him. A whole host of them. Lever and Ryman eventually brought him down, but first contact in the backfield from Stroutland and Willits. They were right there when he got the handoff.
And again, this Dodge Pirate football team, their execution exceedingly well today, doing it very, very well on the field. They're about 7 yards away from a touchdown here.
They lead at 14-6 in the waning moments of the 1st quarter. Franz Lubers up the middle, but before this play gets going, our first look at Brent Ballou, our official today, as flags fly. And that's going to be a false start against the Dodge Pirates. So the first problem of the day, really, other than the fumble for the Dodge Pirates.
It's going to cost them 5 yards. Move it back here as you see them mark it off, and Ballou showing the procedure penalty. But again, the Butte Wildcat linebackers playing up there very, very tight. And it's no secret that once you get by, it's tough to see up there, first of all, when you're that tight. And if somebody comes at you and makes a good block, there's just no way you can defend against it as they get set to go again. Kevin, here we go.
2nd and goal on the 12. They toss it to Paulson. Paulson breaks one tackle towards the end zone. Touchdown again for the Pirates. This kid's hard to bring down.
Tremendous speed, very good balance and ability and quickness. Tyler Paulson, just 5'9", 185, but man, can he go. And watch it here again as takes the toss from Eichmeyer. And look at that hole right there, just a huge hole. And there's an attempted tackle. I think that was that Darren Lee?
Andy Burt was the last guy to get a glove on him, and he couldn't hang on either. Looked like Darren Lever.
Maybe Kenny Ryman over there to try to make that tackle, number 28. It was a number in the 20s over there. But no chance at all as Paulson goes right over him in for 6.
They'll try for 2 yet again. Eichmeyer will keep on the option this time, dives into the end zone. The 2-point conversion is good, but there is a flag down just a couple of yards outside the end zone. Let's wait and see what this one is. It's going to be a hold against the Dodge Pirates, so don't put that 2 on the board just yet. 1:06 to play first quarter. I've been real impressed with Dodge here in this first quarter. They have done almost everything right on the ground. That rushing attack is very solid for these Pirates.
Well, offensively, really their execution, Kevin, has been tremendous. Defensively, they have played very well. See the play again here as Eichmeyer takes it just straight quarterback around the end. And
I think it's on number 57, Zach Parr, got whistled and flagged for the hold.
Looked like it.
So they'll try for 2 from the 12, and they'll give up the middle to Paulson, and he's not going to get it. Not a lot of running room up the middle that time, as combining on the stop number 83, Andy Burt, and number 48, Clark Woodruff. And that keeps it at 20-6. Dodge still in the lead.
Some of the crowd here today, the vast confines of Memorial Stadium, and a lot of people, I'm sure, have made the trek from Butte. Butte up there around the South Dakota border, about 9 miles from the South Dakota border, and the Dodge Pirates hailing from just southwest of West Point, about 15 miles. And again, great community support for each of these football teams. I think that's part of the reason that they have been so successful here the last few years. And talking with athletic director for Dodge, the athletic director Denise Grunke for the Dodge Pirates, she was very, very proud of how their community really supported this program. And I think the same would hold true for the Butte Wildcats, Kevin. They both are out here to cheer their teams on. Here we go.
Eichmeyer to boot it away into the wind. Lever awaits it at about the 5-yard line. Lever with blockers in front, banging off one man, and he is spun down at about the 22-yard line. Coming in to make that stop for the Dodge Pirates was number 17, Matt Odvadi. And Odvadi with the stop on that one. 59 seconds to play first quarter, and, well, the Butte Wildcats with a little work to do. They're down 20-6. First down and 10 yards to go. Lechtenberg hands off up the middle to Lever. Lever diving across the 30 down to near the 32-yard line. Eric Harms on the stop. Little misdirection that time. Kind of got Dodge flowing one way and the run flowed the other way.
And then Lever took care of the rest of it. Watch all of the yards he's going to make here. He's going to try to go to the right-hand side, cut back to the right-hand side. Spins away there. Missed tackle right there, and boom, he picks up about 4 more after that. So, again, Lever creating some yardage after being hit that first time. Here's the play.
Second down and a yard to go from the 32. They'll go right up the middle, and there's not a lot of running room in there, but enough for a first down for Lance Willits as he pushes it near the 33-yard line. I don't know, with the spot, it's going to be awfully close to a first. Let's see. And he's got it. 19 seconds to go first quarter, first down Butte. Both of these coaches, talking with them this week, both talked about what a thrill it is to come to Memorial Stadium. These coaches have both coached in when the state championships were played still on home school sites, and they say, you know, there's just nothing that beats the thrill of coming to play where the Huskers play. And for these kids, a lot of them, as you mentioned, this is the only time they ever get the chance to play at Memorial Stadium, and it's a lot of fun.
It is, Kevin, and we'll talk about that after this play here.
First down and 10, 33-yard line for Butte. Lechtenberg to throw. Pressure coming, flushed out of the pocket. He'll try to run with it. Scooting around in the backfield, still on his feet. Look at this play by Lechtenberg. Lechtenberg down the sideline and jarred out of bounds at the 30-yard line of Dodge. Great individual effort by Kyle Lechtenberg, who by all rights should have been sacked. Instead has enough for a first down.
Well, he looked like he knew where all the mines were on the field because he was running around. Watch this here. He's going to go about, he's going to run about 60 yards here to pick up about 15 or so, maybe 20. But just in there, out of there, around there. A good move right there. Franzluber's right there, knocks him out. Good tackle, or good defensive play, I should say, by Franzluber to get rid of him. But, again, what a great play.
And that is the end of the first quarter. It's been Dodge in control. The Pirates lead at 20-6, and we'll have the start of the second when we return to Memorial Stadium in Lincoln right after this. Along with Adrian Fiala, I'm Kevin Kugler. We're at Memorial Stadium in Lincoln, Nebraska. You've heard of breakfast at Wimbledon. This is breakfast at Memorial Stadium, maybe brunch at Memorial Stadium. We're getting closer to the noon hour. 20-6 is our score in the Class D2 state championship. Dodge leading Butte. And Butte with it, 1st and 10 on the Pirate 31-yard line. Kyle Lechtenberg, the quarterback, handing off over the right side. Nowhere to run for Lance Willits as he's brought down by Dan Marish to lead the charge for the Pirates.
Trying to get out to the corner on that offensive play. But again, the Dodge Pirates showing a lot of quickness at the line of scrimmage. That line of the the Butte Wildcats that is not able to handle those Dodge people thus far. And out there, very little gain, about a half-a-yard gain on the play. It'll be 2nd down, called at about 9.5.
Dodge has shown a real good job of lateral movement on that line of scrimmage. They've really been able to string out Butte pretty well today.
And you see, after this play, we'll talk about it, Kevin.
Lechtenberg to throw on 2nd down and 10. He's going down the middle. He's got a man there, and it is tipped away, incomplete. Good defensive play by Eric Harms. Throwing into the wind was Lechtenberg, and that may have kept that from being 6 points. Warnke was open. He had to come back for the ball, hung up in the wind a bit, and that gave Harms a chance to recover and knock it away.
All of it happened because watch Casey Eichmeyer, number 80 here. He'll come from the right of your screen. See him right there coming, and the quarterback understands what's happening to his left as Eichmeyer puts the pressure on and almost creates that pass interception right there. Good job. Casey Eichmeyer, Jr., 5'10", 165. He leads his team with 8 sacks this year. Almost had number 9 right there.
Yeah, very close. 3rd down and 10, 31-yard line. And a big play for the Butte Wildcats as they trail 20-6. Lechtenberg to throw again. Pressure coming. He lofts it out to his tight end, Clausen. Flags fly, and Clausen will be about 3 yards short of a 1st down. Let's wait and see what the flag is.
I think it's going to be a blocking in the back. It looked like one of their folks up there, looked like maybe Clark Woodruff blocking in the back over there, but we'll wait for the call here. Still talking it over. That is Brent Ballou.
And they're
inadvertence.
They're going to pick it up. Yep. The flag blew out of his pocket, perhaps, in these 35-mile-an-hour winds.
A little assist from the hand there, but it was thrown right in the area of number 48, Clark Woodruff, and Clark had a block there. And I think what happened, the defender may have turned a little bit, Kevin, on the play, and it looked like at second glance it may have been a block in the back, but they talked it over. Unfortunately, football referees can do that, and they waved it off, and that's the way to do it. Good call. You look at the linebackers for the Dodge Pirates, and you compare that to what the Butte folks have done. The Dodge Pirate linebackers play off the football. They're about maybe 3 yards off. Now, they're up tight on this play because it's 4th down and 3. Here we go.
4th down. Lechtenberg wants to throw. And he's going deep over the middle. Got a man wide open. Touchdown to Chad Warnke, who got behind the safety man and scores the touchdown on 4th down.
There he is. Youngster to senior, 5'11", 150 pounds, coming from the left side over there, leading this team in receiving this year. And for Warnke, his 2nd catch today. And this is a big one today. Again, gets his team right back in the fracas as this ball is laid out there perfectly right in the midst of Chad Warnke.
Big play on 4th down to get that into the end zone for the touchdown. As you look at it again, into the end zone easily, and a good throw by Lechtenberg.
He just came from that tight end spot as the extra point is attempted now, and it is good.
Great catch by Chad Warnke that time. The touchdown, the easy catch. Warnke with the tougher catch, having to dive for that 2-point conversion.
Reminded me of the catch Matt Davison made against Missouri this year, Kevin, in the north end zone down there at Columbia. Ball thrown down and low just like that by Crouch and drilled in there. And Matty came up with it, and Warnke, again, a carbon copy, different end zone.
20-14 now, the Dodge Pirates.
Watch here. Just drilled right to the outside. I thought for a moment there that Franzlebers was going to have a shot at it, but again, the ball thrown down and away, and it's awfully tough for a defender, a defensive back, to come up with a play like that, and a tremendous grab by Warnke.
Yeah, the only way you're going to knock that down is if you happen to be in the wrong position defensively and you're playing him in the wrong spot.
It's impossible for the most part to make that play. Here comes the kick from the left side there, almost by the hash mark.
And into the wind. Wow. Gets off a great kick, and it'll go through the end zone for the touchback. Boy, that's a heck of a boot into a 29-mile-an-hour wind.
That's Willits on the kickoff, and he just ate a little extra spinach this morning and went right to that right foot, and he put it right through the end zone. Good job.
15-yard line is where the Dodge Pirates will start. Other than a fumble, the Pirates have been able to move down the field with relative ease, although they did start inside Butte territory on one of their drives, which turned into a touchdown a few plays later. 20-14, Dodge in the lead. Big plays have certainly marked the first half of football in the D2 final. On the toss to Paulson, and here comes another big play. Paulson trying to break free, and he's drugged down, and that is a touchdown-saving tackle aid. Number 14, Kyle Lechtenberg, the quarterback/DB, saved a touchdown there for Butte.
But that offensive line for Dodge is really handling things up front, Kevin. And that time, I think if Paulson when he looks at the film, takes a look at maybe where he should have gone on the play, he should have probably gone out to the right side. It was open, clear sailing that way, and with his speed, he could have run from everybody, but he elected to take it left, and, the maroon shirts caught up with it.
20-14, the handoff up the middle on first down and 10, and not a lot of running room that time in the middle of the line for number 43, Jared Franzlubers, who didn't find a lot of running room from that fullback spot.
Tried to capitalize a little bit, trying to make that defense think, well, Paulson's going to go wide again and go to the right this time, get the flow going to that side, and then come back with the fullback in Franzlubers. But it didn't happen. Butte was looking for the play, and they shut it down. The second down now at about 7.
Under 10 minutes to play first half. Coming up at halftime, we'll talk with Riley Jane Hamilton of the Lincoln Journal-Star about high school football in general. On the option, Eichmeyer fakes the pitch and keeps. Gets a couple of yards from the 37 near the 39-yard line. Good defensive pursuit and good job of playing the option by Clark Woodruff.
Good job over there, exactly, because that play looked like it was going to go, Kevin. But again, because of that great defense, it didn't work. And is that
also
Kenny Ryman?
Kenny Ryman also on that play.
You bet.
Woodruff was the man that took the tailback. Ryman stayed with his man, the quarterback, and now that gives a 3rd and 5. They'll toss it on the left side to Paulson, picking his way through defenders, dives ahead and gets the first down for the Dodge Pirates. On the stop, Cody Clausen, and again, good running by Tyler Paulson, knowing where he had to go for the first down.
Well, Tyler Paulson is showing the kind of ability and moves here today, Kevin, that warrants the sort of interest that comes from people like UNO and, you know, your stopping grounds right now up there with the UNO Mavericks. Other teams looking at it, Midland Lutheran and Hastings also talking to Tyler Paulson, and hopefully he will go on and proceed with his football career, and also a potential all-state candidate.
2,000 yards rushing in a season is what Paulson had pretty close this year, as he gets more here on a first down toss and run out of bounds. And when you have that kind of rushing stats, you're going to get interest from somebody, and Paulson certainly has, and we can see why today. Another carry for Paulson, another gain of about 7.
He just keeps good balance. That time he used the hand, the left arm that time to keep the balance and stay on his feet and pick up another 2 or 3 yards going down the sideline over there and make it 2nd down and about 3 now. It could have been 2nd down and 5, but now it's about 2nd down and 3 because of that ability just to stay on his feet as they break the huddle.
And an official's timeout right now as Brent Ballou sees something he wants to correct and now ready to go. 2nd and 3 for the Pirates, leading 20-14 and threatening again. Eichmeyer to throw, lofting it toward the end zone. He's got a man out there. It's Franzlubers, and he just underthrew that ball. Franzlubers was open, and if he gets it to him in stride, it's an easy 6, and just underthrew it a bit.
You would think with that wind at his back that he would be able to get it out there, but the ball really skied on him. I think maybe the wind got up underneath it, Kevin, and kept it up and then just held it and brought it right down. But the defensive back there beat on the play, but again, the ball just underthrown. The ball would have been thrown on stride. Here you see it again as he delivers the football. See how it just kind of hangs up and then wobbles and boom. Looked like number 22 right there, Darren Lever, on the coverage.
Handoff up the middle on 3rd and 3 to Paulson. And again, Paulson, great balance, stepping through there, and the ball came loose, but the officials are saying down by contact, and it's going to be awfully close to another first down on a 3rd and 3 for the Dodge Pirates.
Quarterback out there, Clint Eichmeyer, signaling to the bench. We're a little bit short, Coach. And are they? I believe they are. It'll be 4th down and inches to go as Eichmeyer staring over at head coach Ron Lund, trying to pick up a play. I think I know what I'd do.
Yeah, absolutely.
His name is Paulson.
Absolutely. Number 32.
Of course,
put your money on him to get the call here.
Eichmeyer big enough. He can take it. He'll probably make a half a yard here. Yep, there
he goes. Right up the middle, and he's going to score the touchdown. Good call, Adrian Fiala, and good run, Clint Eichmeyer, for the score.
Well, everybody thinking perhaps Paulson's going to be the guy, and again, nobody there for the Butte Wildcats once he steps across the line of scrimmage, and it was clear sailing from there. But Clint Eichmeyer, tremendous athlete in his own right. See it again, ground level. He is a big guy to bring down. 6 foot, 195. You cannot look at the hips and the thighs right there on this young man. You cannot bring him down with an arm tackle. Look at it again here. Right there, just not even a chance. It was just a glance of a hand off that left thigh pad. Here goes for 2.
26-14, and Paulson will sneak into the end zone for 2 more. 28-14. The Dodge Pirates, who have scored as many as 82 points in a game this year, and they're on pace for another big scoring day today, leading 28-14.
You wanted offense? We got offense. Great to see. But these are the kind of games that happen. Again, when you're talking 8-man football, very rarely do you see the defensive battles that ensue in the upper classes. But that's good. I mean, it gives everybody a chance to get out and go and show the speed and ability and all the other things. As you look at Franz Lubbers right there, playing a whale of a football game out of that fullback spot. Good blocking out there, playing good defense for this team. Paulson the same thing as the Pirates get set to kick it away here. Dodge Pirates in the Cornhusker Conference. Their conference had a great year this year. Out of 8 teams in the playoffs, 4 came from their conference. The only problem was they all met in the first round, so that sort of knocked everybody apart there in the first round. But again, 4 of 8 teams out of their conference made the playoffs.
Eichmeyer's kick will make the end zone and off of the upright. Banging off the upright, and it'll still come out to the 15 despite his accuracy there off the upright. And the Butte Wildcats with some work to do again, trailing by 2 touchdowns. Those conferences in the state of Nebraska in various sports are set up kind of odd, and that's one of them where you've got a lot of great teams all in the same conference. They end up knocking each other off, and you don't get a chance to get too many representatives in towards the end. For the Wildcats on 1st down and 10 from their own 15-yard line, trailing 28-14. They'll give it up the middle to Lever, and Lever with nowhere to go, wrapped up at the line of scrimmage. In there on the stop, Bryce Johnson from that nose tackle spot, I think got him around the ankles, Abe.
He led the flow that time. He was on the ball. Right off the snap of the ball, he was moving, Kevin, and he led the flow. He stacked it all up in there. Nowhere for that running back to go. He had to step over him. He kind of tripped over that shoulder pad, but he led the charge. You're right.
2nd and 10, 15-yard line for the Butte Wildcats. And Lechtenberg will throw. Going over the middle, wide open, juggled and caught is his tight end, Cody Clausen, and that'll be enough for a Butte 1st down. Franz Lubbers on the stop.
Good job by Clausen that time. They ran one receiver out wide, took that defensive back out of that area, and then Clausen came down and ran just a deep inside hook, about a 10 to 15-yard deep inside hook, and the ball was delivered right on the money by Lechtenberg, and he had a little bit of trouble putting it away, but Clausen makes the grab and turns upfield.
Lechtenberg to throw out of the backfield. It is caught by Darren Lever. Lever breaking 2 tackles and finally brought down right about the 35-yard line.
Good job that time by Lechtenberg again. Well thrown, well executed pass. This young man has thrown for 1,000 yards this year. First time in head coach Steve Colfax's coaching tenure that he's had a 1,000-yard passer. Threw for 1,252 yards this year. 23 touchdowns. Had total offense of just over, almost 1,700, 1,697.
Didn't have to throw much, though, in their semifinal win in the playoffs over Layton. Only threw it 4 times, completed 3 of them, and flags fly as movement along the front of that line, and Dodge was over. We'll see if they were drawn off. And the offside call against the Pirates will add 5 yards to the Butte Wildcats' possession, and on 2nd and 2 becomes a 1st and 10 right near midfield at the 40-yard line.
Thus far in the ball game for Dodge, total offense of 233 yards. For Butte, 109 yards. Dodge's run, Kevin, for 227 yards today.
And,
thus far.
And for the Dodge Pirates, on 3rd and 4th down combined, 5 out of 6. It's a pretty good percentage.
You can live with that.
I think so. I think Dodge will take that and go home happy with that.
A lot of coaches will smile about that one.
Lechtenberg will try a quarterback sneak of his own, and he's got a running room as well. Brought down inside the 30-yard line by number 80, Casey Eichmeyer, who finally caught up with the junior quarterback.
Well, the one thing you have to remember about the Butte Wildcats, they will not quit at all. And you see it here again. They're down 28-14 right now, but Lechtenberg sees some daylight right up the middle, and he gets going. Tackle there, attempted tackle by Zach Parr, 57. He runs out of that. And again, these guys have been to the state championship or state qualifiers 13 times. They know from experience what it takes to win, and they're staying right after it. Good pursuit right there by the Dodge Pirates. However, good defensive job by a host of white-shirted tacklers.
Tyler Paulson collapsing on Jerry Lever, and Lever gets a minimal gain just out to the 25-yard line. They'll give him 2 yards, and it'll be 2nd down and 8 for the Wildcats, who trail 28-14, 5:45 and counting to play first half. And the Wildcats trying to punch another one into the end zone here. Stack the eye behind Lechtenberg, and he will throw. Going towards the end zone, he's got Warnke down there. Warnke's got it into the end zone. Touchdown, Butte.
And what a beautiful route and a beautiful throw that was. Doesn't get any better than that. I think it was Franzlubers over there on the coverage, but Warnke taking Franzlubers down the field. Warnke is on the other side over there. He's going to take him down the field, and then it's a corner post route. So he's throwing the football right for that corner post. And I tell you what, that's about as pretty a play as you're going to see. That was tremendous. That was absolutely tremendous. Great job. Warnke running a perfect route. He cuts it off, heads right for the corner post, and the quarterback, Lechtenberg, sits up, fires, and throws it right for that post. Bingo, touchdown. Well timed.
Remember, he's throwing into a 29-mile-an-hour wind, too. He'll throw again for the 2-point conversion. This one off the fingertips of his tight end, Cody Clausen. So it stays an 8-point game, 28-20. Dodge in the lead with 5:31 to play in this second quarter. And I think we are seeing just what kind of a game this is going to be. In this first half, we've seen 48 points scored. Combined offensive, well, near 400 yards now between the two teams, and it's going to be a high-scoring shootout today.
I think my computer's going to need a little more memory today.
You brought one legal pad, and you're going to need about 3 to keep the stats in this one.
But I want to tell you what, I was very, very impressed with that last touchdown pass. Jared Franzluber's on the coverage, and he was a little disappointed he couldn't make the play, but that was so well timed and so well thrown that it was just almost impossible for him to get there. Here comes the kickoff.
Franzluber's was in good position defensively, too. It was just a perfectly thrown ball. And speaking of Franzluber's, he's got it across the 20 to the 25 and banged out of bounds near the 30-yard line. Knocked out of bounds by Willits, and then he had a little collision a little bit later on. I believe it was with number 83, Andy Burnt, as they came up near the 30-yard line.
Well, Franzlubers is a young man who is 6 foot and 195 pounds, and he can move, as we talked about before. He also tested number 1. He came to a Big Red football camp here, Kevin, and he tested number 1 in all the drills. So the guy has some excellent ability, and let's hope that he can carry it on into the collegiate level.
First down and 10, 30-yard line for the Dodge Pirates. And Clint Eichmeyer, the quarterback. Up the middle they go to Paulson. His number called again, and Paulson delivers about a 5-yard gain on first down.
And Jared probably will do that, but not for another year. He's only a junior. He's got some time to work on it here, and he is doing well right now. But, boy, you give him another year to go, and he's going to be tremendous.
For the Pirates, they will lose the inside of their offensive line after today's game, and their quarterback and also their star running back, Tyler Paulson. But with Jared Franzlubers in the lineup next year, along with Casey Eichmeyer and Zach Parr, things would look pretty good. And there's Franzlubers on the carry on 2nd and 5, and out of bounds he goes near the 35-yard line of Butte. That's a first down. Andy Burnt wrestling him out of bounds for a first down.
Good job by Franzlubers to set up the blocking. Watch him set it up here. He's going to wait. Going to get out there. He's going to wait till his teammate out there, Bryce Johnson, comes, sets it up. See how you can make additional yardage off just waiting for the blockers. An inexperienced back sometimes will want to take it and just go, thinking he can outrun everybody. But that time he waited for his blocking. He waited for Bryce Johnson to come out, lead the convoy upfield, and then make the cut and go pick up about another 4, 5, maybe 6 yards after that block from Johnson.
First and 10, 35-yard line of Butte. On the option, the toss goes to Paulson, and Paulson is knocked out of bounds near the 30-yard line. Another gain of 5, Jerry Lever on the stop. They're chewing up yardage in 5-yard chunks. If you can get 5 yards per play, you're doing awfully well.
Yeah, absolutely, and they're working both sides of the field, letting everybody on the other side share the pain, no doubt about it. Go right,
that's awfully
go left.
democratic of them.
Well, thank you, but at any rate, going right, going left, going up the middle. So, again, the Butte Wildcats not sure exactly where the next attack will come from the Dodge Pirates.
2nd and 5 on the 30. The attack comes up the middle, but flags fly, and the play stops before anything else can happen.
I didn't know you're so politically inclined.
Oh, well, every once in a while, my true colors show. They'll back it up 5 yards. It'll be 2nd and 10 for the Pirates. You know, you got to intersperse a little something for everyone. This is public television, after all. And
absolutely.
You've got sports, political, slant. We'll do it all here.
We cut a wide swath
in the second half.
Society.
In the second half, we'll talk in British accents, and maybe it'll be a Britcom. 4.5 minutes to go in the first half.
Very good at sports, you know.
Well, maybe we'll stay with our own. And flags fly again, giving us more time to inject our own special brand of humor. The officials with another false start call. Oh, no, offside.
I think it's going the other way this time.
Butte. So we go back the other way for another 5 yards, and we're right back where we started. 2nd and 5 from the 35-yard line. Just pretend none of that ever happened.
I feel like I'm hearing the Jeopardy music in the background right now.
Well, if Alex Trebek walks in, we've got another topic of conversation for you. 253 yards of offense for the Dodge Pirates.
Look at this.
Well, there's the guy.
There's some dedicated fans. He saw his shadow and came to the game.
You know, though, here's the thing. Usually people are crazy for that. That's probably comfortable today. It's almost 70 degrees out there.
Absolutely. There were times when that guy, if he was doing that, he'd be frozen stiff right now.
Wouldn't have needed to use the blue paint. 2nd and 5, Paulson on the toss, and he'll carry it down to about the 23-yard line. Dusty Coburn on the stop.
I tell you what, though, it's all in good-natured fun, and, you know, you keep it within the limits that you need to keep it, and it's all great stuff. As you see, the toss sweep right here, and you saw Paulson looking, trying to figure out where that hole's going to be, and then cuts it upfield, trying to use that great speed that he has, picks up a first down for his teammates, and they are again on the move towards a touchdown here.
Coburn on that tackle. He's only one of 2 defensive starters that doesn't also start on offense, so he specializes in defense. They give on the delay up the middle to Franzlubers, and there's not a lot of running room in there that time. Good job by Art Schroetland from the defensive guard spot. He got a hold of Franzlubers, and he wasn't going to let him go. Only a gain of about a yard on the play. 2nd and 9 coming up.
Schroetland has been an excellent defender for this Butte Wildcat team all year, as you see instruction being given right there to Lance Willits. But Schroetland coming into this ball game, leading his team in tackles with 116 on the year. He has been just marvelous on defense for this bunch. 5'10", 190 pounds. He's a senior.
2nd down and, well, 9.5, 10 yards to go for the Dodge Pirates, who have, I believe, taken a timeout to talk things over here with 3:21 to play in this 2nd quarter. Dodge with their first timeout burned. 2nd down and 10 to go after the timeout. The handoff up the middle to Paulson, and Paulson working his way across the 20 down near the 17-yard line. Paulson having a terrific first half. 255 yards rushing for this Dodge Pirate offense in the first half, Abe.
Well, Paulson, again, the main reason that has all happened, along with Jared Franzlubers, they have really covered all parts of the field here. That offensive line of theirs up front, Zach Parr, Bryce Johnson, Dan Marish, Kelly Likas, and Casey Eichmeyer, all providing, again, the blocks to free those people up, and done a wonderful job. 28-20 is our score.
3rd and 5 on the option. Eichmeyer tosses late, and slipping down is Paulson, and that'll be short of the first down. Kyle Lechtenberg was right out there on Paulson, and Eichmeyer had trouble, pitched it late, and Paulson couldn't keep his footing that time.
Lots of room to go for the Dodge Pirates on this play. Eichmeyer has a chance right here. He's got a chance right there if he can get by and see. He's looking for the pitch man right there, but he had all kinds of green right in front of him. But that's okay. In the heat of the battle, that's what happens. You need to be looking for the pitch guy. And then, of course, he slips down. The pitch man slips. He had a lot of room to go, too. Didn't happen. Here's the play.
4th and 6. The toss to Paulson. He cuts it up the middle, and he is going to have the first down, lunging forward after he got hit by Clark Woodruff. And a good job by Paulson. He may have been short at first contact, Aid, but as he lunged ahead, he had enough for the first.
Well, Woodruff, 5'11", 180 pounds. Again, he's been a good defender for this bunch here this year. 75 tackles on the year. Now watch him make the cut here. He sees daylight, takes it to the left side. Now watch Woodruff. He pays the price, but Paulson goes right over the top. 185 pounds of Paulson, and he picks up the first down.
1st and 10 on the 11-yard line. A broken play, perhaps, and Eichmeyer has to try to make the most of it. He gets across the 10 to the 9-yard line. Cody Clausen on the stop, but that looked like somebody went the wrong direction.
Yeah, I think so. Not exactly sure just what that was intended to be. I think maybe it had the look of bootleg on it to start with, but then the way Eichmeyer reacted after the play, it was strictly run all the way. So not exactly sure what was to happen on that particular play, Kevin, but they break the huddle. 2nd down now and 8.
Dodge not as quick to snap the ball as they have been, using as much clock as they can. 1:20 to go first half. Eichmeyer is stopped on the option again on that left side, and there's Woodruff again on the stop. And Woodruff looks like the guy they've got dogging the quarterback right now, and he's doing a good job of keeping an eye on Clint Eichmeyer.
Well, he's the second leading tackler on the ball club this year, so he knows what to do with his hands and arms and helmet and how to get to people. So no doubt or no question as to what he is capable of doing out there, and he's doing a good job of shutting down the quarterback. There you see the young man making his way back over to the huddle. Clark Woodruff, 5'11", 180 pounds.
Timeout again taken by the Dodge Pirates. It's their second timeout. They've got one left here in the first half and exactly 1 minute to play in the second quarter. Dodge Pirates are leading it 28-20. We'll find out where some of Nebraska's best recreation sites are. Today it's Memorial Stadium, and also get caught up on the latest news from the Game and Parks Commission with Outdoor Nebraska tonight at 7:30 Central Time right here on Nebraska ETV. The recreation site of the day, Memorial Stadium, and a lot of folks are taking advantage of wonderful weather in late November to watch high school football. Shirt sleeve day in Lincoln, Nebraska in November. There have been many, many times where I can remember shoveling snow or during the state football championships.
You remember a few years ago, the playoffs were blizzarded out a couple of times, and they had to move some games and that kind of thing, play them a little later till the weather got better, as we're about ready to fire away again here, Kevin.
3rd and 6 from the 7-yard line. They give up the middle to Paulson. He breaks one tackle, still on his feet and shirting near the 2-yard line. Going to be a yard shy of the first, and that'll bring up a 4th down. Well, and about a yard to go.
4th and a yard, maybe 4th and a couple of yards, the way they have it spotted right now. And decision time now for the Dodge Pirates. Ron Lund taking a look over there. There's no indecision at all. They're calling the play in the huddle. They will line it up and go for it.
And they will try to use as much time as they can. They don't want to leave Butte with much left on the clock because both of these teams have shown the ability to score quickly. 23 seconds to play in this first half. Dodge leading 28-20. 4th down and a yard to go. The give to Franzluber, spinning away, and I don't know if he got it.
He didn't.
He is going to be awfully close, but I agree with you, Abe. I think he is going to be short, and Butte may have come up with a huge play, keeping Dodge out of the end zone.
I think it was Clark Woodruff, 48, coming on the blitz. As you see the signal there from Brent Ballou, the ball goes over. They did not make it, but did get a chance to catch the number there. But from the left side, somebody was coming on the blitz right there. One of their backers coming on the blitz, and he knew that play was coming, and he stacked it up immediately, and that's why the play went down.
And now a timeout taken by the Butte Wildcats. So Butte will take a timeout and talk things over. They have 2 left, and they've got to try to figure out how to get it out of the shadows of their goalpost right now. We'll be talking, at least we hope so, at the end of this first half with the head coach of the Dodge Pirates, Ron Lund, as he leaves the field and get his thoughts on the first half. It's been an entertaining first half of football, and if you like offense, boy, this has been your kind of half.
You're in the right place for offense, and you're going to be in the right place for offense today and tonight even.
I don't anticipate it changing here in the second half. Neither one of these teams will probably get any more conservative than they have been. 1st down and 10 from the 2, and Lechtenberg will just sneak it ahead to try to avoid any potential problems in the end zone, and that will probably elapse the rest of this first half as we wind down the clock. And halftime is here, and the Dodge Pirates, after a very entertaining first half, leading over the Butte Wildcats 28-20. And we talked about at the very beginning, Abe, big plays have certainly been the big factor in this game.
You bet, Kevin. Big touchdown plays. Tyler Paulson, a 50-yard run in that first quarter. Jarrett Franzluber's a 24-yard run. Paulson comes back with a 12-yard run behind that, and we'll have all the other details. Halftime stats a little bit later on in the halftime activity here, but they were concerned, both coaches concerned about the big plays, and they have certainly figured in to the scoring here this afternoon. It's made it an exciting first half here as the Dodge Pirates have taken the lead here in the first half, 28-20 over Butte.
Well, we were hoping to get a chance to talk with Ron Lund, but he may have snuck into the locker room to talk with his kids here at halftime. Maybe we'll get a chance to speak with him a little bit later on. His Pirates are leading 28-20 over the Butte Wildcats. We're going to step aside from Memorial Stadium, and when we return, halftime festivities in the Class D2 State Championship. We'll talk with Riley Jane Hamilton of the Lincoln Journal-Star when we return in just a moment.
Nebraska is important, and we love small-town Nebraska, but I think the Class A game has to be the one that we kind of look to. Creighton Prep versus Millard West, there are some awfully good players. Unfortunately, a young man who's headed to the University of Nebraska, Chris Septak from Millard West, will not be playing. He tore his medial collateral ligament in the semifinal last week, and so he's not going to be playing, which is a real shame because he's a really wonderful player, excellent receiver. He's got hands of glue. Nebraska people have to be just real thrilled to know that they've got another receiver like that coming in.
Riley, how about Millard West? They've really done a great job here. They've only been around how long? About
6 years, I think.
6 years,
yeah.
and they've been in the finals now 2 years in a row.
That's right. Dan McLaughlin is a wonderful coach. He took Broken Bow way back when, back in 1988. He took Broken Bow to the Class B state championship, and then he moved on to Norfolk, and he took Norfolk to the Class A state championship in 1994, and then left for Millard West that year. And he has an excellent record. He's just done a really nice job. Millard West got a lot of really good athletes to come their way in the first couple of years, and that really makes a difference. They were able to start with a very large freshman and sophomore class, just a few juniors and seniors the first year. But so it took them a couple of years to get on their feet. Those first 2 years of varsity football were pretty painful for Millard West.
What's been the effect with respect to Millard South and Millard North because of what Millard West has done?
Millard South took the majority of the hit,
Okay.
and that has evened out now. That has started to settle in. But I think Millard South took the majority of the hit when Millard West opened. That's going to happen. I mean, Lincoln's going to have to deal with that in the next couple of years when they open the 2 new schools. You know, likely it will hit, in some sports, it will hit some schools worse than it does others. But it doesn't take very long for that to even out. I think Millard South they got back on track again. They were in the semifinals this year. Marty Going's an excellent coach, and it just took a little while to get a little bit back on balance again.
And there was a new record set in the field goal. The kicker from Millard South set a new record for field goal, 59-yarder, I believe.
Yeah, you know, and Millard South had, they've got kickers up the yin-yang.
We're glad to hear that. I tell you what, that's a great place to find them.
Well, they have kickers. They've always had kickers. The Millard South kicker held the state record, held the state playoff record, and now holds the state and playoff record. So it's kind of neat to see. And I talked to Marty Going a little bit about that, and he said, yeah, we spend a lot of time with our kickers. You know, they get the soccer, some of the soccer players out there, and he said when they first come out, all they want to do is kick, and then by the middle of the year, they're starting to ask to be in on some of the practice plays, some of the real practice, and want to be in on fakes and stuff like that. So they really become a part of the football program, and it's been beneficial to Millard South.
So there's more to it than just I kicked the ball.
I kicked the ball.
All right, okay.
Well, while we've got Riley Jane up here, we want to get her in the color commentator chair as well, do a little co-color commentary as we take a look at some highlights from the first half and a chance again to watch Clint Eichmeyer on this quarterback sneak. He's a fun athlete to watch.
He sure is. You know, and that was awfully nice, but there was not a soul over the ball. He had the touchdown by the time he was 1 yard past the line of scrimmage.
And here comes the Wildcats score. Lechtenberg with just a beautiful throw this time into the wind too to Chad Warnke.
Oh, he's thrown well all day long. Actually, he threw better in the second quarter when he was going into the wind.
Watch this one though. This is the best.
This is that little slant.
This is the best. This is the corner post.
Oh, the
right
corner
here.
one. Okay.
Yeah, look at this, right at the corner
Isn't
post.
that pretty?
And I mean, it doesn't get any better than that.
No,
Let me tell you.
that was
it
nice.
really doesn't.
They threw the little slant for the two-point conversion, which is nice. Once again, a real nice pass. Put it where he had to for his teammate to catch it, and nobody else. That's always good to see.
Well, it's certainly been an exciting first half. 28-20, the score. The Dodge Pirates leading over the Butte Wildcats. Riley Jane Hamilton of the Lincoln Journal-Star. Thanks for stopping by.
Sure, it's always a pleasure to be with you guys.
Well, we appreciate it as well. Dodge leading by 8. We'll have more from Memorial Stadium at halftime in just a moment. And welcome back to Memorial Stadium in Lincoln, Nebraska. Along with Adrian Fiala, I'm Kevin Kugler. It is halftime of the Class D2 championship game, and we're joined now by the executive director of the NSAA, Jim Riley. And Jim, great to have you with us here. The first of a very busy weekend for you folks at the Nebraska School Activities Association.
Yes, it is, and we're very pleased to have educational television with us telecasting this all over the state. I think it's a real service for our fans all over Nebraska.
Well, we're certainly excited to do it, and it's a lot of fun for folks. And I know, talking to the coaches for all these teams that are playing here this weekend, that to a man, they are very excited about the chance to not only to watch this on television, but to be able to tape it and go home and watch it again and again. It's a great keepsake for a lot of people.
Yes, it is, and you know, it'll get more value as these players get older. Only one thing bad about those tapes, they can't lie. You know, 20 years from now, they put it on the tape and they can actually see what happened.
Well, when you're telling your kids about it, that's why you just don't get the VCR out.
Jim, you just may have given us a new opportunity here.
Right.
That's right. Yeah, if you'd like to look better on this tape 20 years from now, send your check, care of Nebraska TV. Jim Riley, let's talk a little bit. It's been a few years now since the state championships were moved to Lincoln, and also in talking with these coaches this week, it's such an exciting thing for the kids and for the coaches to get the chance to come and play Memorial Stadium. How has that been received in your conversations around the state?
Well, I think it's been very well received. You know, we attempt to put our championship events on at the best facility we have available, and this is the best facility we have available in football, and I think it's only right at the high school championship football be here. And I think the atmosphere, the fact that they get to go down and play on the same field at the University of Nebraska and all the other great universities in the Big 12 play on is a real bonus for these young men.
No, I know they enjoy it, and Adrian, you've played on this field before as a collegiate athlete, and it's got to be a thrill for kids who may never get the chance to play collegiate football to come here and play.
Yeah, by and large, Kevin and Jim, this is probably the last time these guys will be on this field. There may be a couple of players out there who may do that, but for the balance or the majority, this will be it for them. But it is. I remember the first time I walked out on this field. It wasn't the field turf; it was real turf. But you walk into the stadium and it just overwhelms you. Jim, has that been the player response you've heard about in years past?
Very definitely, Adrian. I get amused when we introduce them when they come out and see themselves on Husker Vision. It's kind of hard for them to find their way down that path because their heads are turned watching Husker Vision, and it's a real thrill for them. And we're just so lucky that the University of Nebraska makes this available to us.
Well, Jim, thank you so much for stopping by. We appreciate it. Good luck the rest of the week, and a culmination of a very busy couple of weeks at the NSAA.
Thank you.
Halftime score, 28-20. Dodge leading Butte in the D2 championship, and we'll have more coming up in just a moment. Nebraska State High School Football Championships are brought to you in part by Alltel, providers of long-distance, wireless, and internet services. Alltel, the power to simplify. And by U.S. Bank, a premier partner of the Nebraska School Activities Association. And we have the home coach, the Butte Wildcats head coach, down on the sidelines. It is Steve Kolfak joining us. And, Coach, your impressions of the first half, down by 8 here at halftime?
Not much defense tonight, or today, but I guess I thought maybe that might be a possibility. Both offenses are very good. We're struggling to run the ball, so I think we'll probably try to keep passing a little bit, but we got to somehow slow their running game down.
Steve, Adrian Fiala up here. I just want to ask you, your linebackers are playing very tight today. Reason for that?
It's just kind of the way we normally do. We try to get them before they get started, and we're just not we're not flowing to the ball well enough, and but our defensive line's getting pushed back a little bit. Maybe it just looks like it's pushed back, or they're tight because their line's getting pushed back too much.
Will you loosen your backers up in the second half at all?
Well, we're gonna switch to that defense we did it there at the end, so it's kind of a different defense. We don't use it very much, only on desperation times, and this might be desperation times.
Coach Kolfak, good luck in the second half.
Okay, thank you.
Steve Kolfak, the head coach of the Butte Wildcats. Chance to visit with him at halftime. That's a nice feature to have, too, to get the thoughts of the coach. And those linebackers being up close to the line, that was a big factor early on for the Dodge Pirates, because once they ran the ball past that initial contact, they were gone.
Well, there's nobody back there, Kevin. There you see the stats. Dodge dominant in those stats in a lot of ways. You see the rushing yardage. About 3.5 times more in the rushing yardage. And let's see. Let's talk about fumbles. Dodge has lost a fumble.
Led to a touchdown by the Butte Wildcats.
Yep, and that was really kind of a big offensive play for Butte here in this play, where they recovered that fumble and gave them some great field position. But Dodge has really dominated in total as you look at those halftime stats.
Well, Tyler Paulson has accounted for 180 yards of Dodge's 275 rushing yards, 22 carries for 180 yards for Tyler Paulson on the afternoon. And what a performance he's had. Lechtenberg 6 of 8 for 80 yards through the air. His long, a 25-yard touchdown pass to number 38, Chad Warnke. And the Butte Wildcats will get a chance to get it first, Abe.
You bet. Tyler Paulson, as you mentioned, 22 carries, 180 yards, and the record in Class D2 is 322, held by Chris Kelgard from Bancroft Rosalie and Chris Sullivan from Elgin, Nebraska, as we see the kickoff sailing into the end zone here. But Tyler Paulson, Kevin, if he can have as good a second half as he had first half, he'll break that record.
Well, we'll see if those defensive changes made by Coach Steve Kolfak and the Butte Wildcats will be enough to slow him from that record. You never want to be the team that gives up a state rushing record, and I think that's a safe bet for the Wildcats as well today. But they have the football first, and after the touchback, have it at their own 15-yard line, trailing by 8, 28-20 as we start off the third quarter of play. And the give is right up the middle to the fullback Willits, and Willits lunging forward to the 19-yard line. Eric Harms on the stop.
Harms over there. Bryce Johnson also sticking an arm in there to knock the ball carrier down. And be good for the Butte Wildcats to step up here right in this third quarter as we get play underway to make a statement, Kevin, to tell this team they're still in this. They are in this football game, no question about it. Just 8 points behind Dodge. But again, just to take control and move it down the field. Let's see what they do.
Second down, 6 yards to go. Lechtenberg to throw. Deep drop, lots of time, lobbing it downfield, and that one is going to be incomplete, nearly intercepted out there by number 32, Tyler Paulson, who's doing it all today. 180 yards rushing, nearly had the first interception of the day.
Well, he's had 4 on the year thus far for Dodge, and just about had another one right there. Watch the protection here, though. You called it, Kevin. Everybody's out on the route, the 2 backs out of the backfield, just 3 guys blocking, and they handle everybody there. Pressure closing in, but this ball thrown right into the teeth of about a 29-mile-an-hour wind that's gusting up to 35, and the ball just fluttering away.
I formation, 3rd down and 6. Lechtenberg on the draw will keep it. He will be having enough for the first down. Looked like he was going to stop short, and then he lunged forward and got enough for the first down, wrestling himself out of the grasp of Casey Eichmeyer, enough for the first.
Casey over there battling with the offensive guard on the play, and then he saw quarterback Lechtenberg trying to scramble to the left side, and Eichmeyer works off that block, and bingo, he makes the hit.
First down and 10, 28-yard line for the Butte Wildcats. 11:05 to play third quarter, 28-20 the score. The Dodge Pirates in the lead. Lechtenberg on the delay, gives it to Lever. Lever cutting it back through the middle, and he has one man to beat and can't do it. Wrestled down finally out there by number 19, Clint Eichmeyer, who caught up with him, but a big run for Jerry Lever.
Boy, and Eichmeyer again saves a touchdown. A counter play, they fake the dive, come back to the left side here, and then a good cut right here now by Lever. Now watch Eichmeyer here, 19. He saves a touchdown. He leads this team in tackles coming into this championship game. 163 tackles on the year.
First down and 10, 39-yard line of Butte. Wildcats with their first possession, and keeping it is Lechtenberg, and he will get about a yard. Good pursuit by Franzlubers. Looked like there was some running room out there for Lechtenberg. Franzlubers closed it off very quickly.
He really did. That was the same sort of play action that we saw on the previous play. That dive, they fake the dive, they fake the counter, and then the quarterback keeps the ball and goes around the left side. But Franzlubers, again, just stayed at home, did his job, completed his responsibility, and made a nice play.
Nice tackle, too. Very textbook technique by Franzlubers there. He got him and hung on. Couldn't let him free. 2nd and 9, right at the 40-yard line, the midfield stripe. Lechtenberg to throw. Going down that left side. He's got a man out there, and he just fell down. Trying out there to hit, I believe, Lever out there near the 10-yard line, and Lever got tangled up out there and fell, and the pass fell incomplete.
A little bit of hand combat going on back there between Lever and Franzlubers on the play, but we'll see it again here as fake up the middle on that play action and then let her rip. You see the hand right there. I'm not sure about that, Kevin. There was a referee back there. He certainly has a better vantage point than I do, but again, a little bit of hand action going on in that secondary.
9:53 to play third quarter, 3rd down and 9. Lechtenberg to throw again, straight drop. faked the toss out to his running back, now going downfield, and that one is going to be incomplete, out of bounds. He had it caught out there, did Warnke, but Warnke fell out of bounds, and a good job by the Pirates to shut off the scramble and force Lechtenberg to throw.
Yeah, Lechtenberg looked like he had room to go that time. He thought he was going to go, but then he saw his receiver coming free, Warnke, downfield. He pulled back and made the throw. Unfortunately, he caught the ball. His body was in bounds, but his 2 feet were out of bounds.
And that's basically all that counts.
Will not work. Will not work.
So a big 4th down here and 9 for the Butte Wildcats. Lechtenberg to throw again. Lots of time over the middle. He's tight end wide open, and he's got enough for the 1st down. Just outside the 25-yard line is Cody Clausen. Clint Eichmeyer on the stop, but Clausen was wide open.
Cody again at the line of scrimmage, the tight end on the right side. The snap of the ball. See him right there. He's on the left side of the screen right there. He just kind of takes a nick off number 98. That's Dan Marish. And then sneaks out into the middle. And he's been open most of the day on those middle routes. But the wide receivers, the receivers that kept everybody to the outside, opened up the middle. And he was able to beat the backers to that wide open area. Boom. 1st down, and Butte's got a break.
Eric Harms also in on that stop. 1st and 10, 27-yard line after a 4th and 9 conversion. And the give up the middle to Darren Lever. And Lever just diving ahead. Harms on the tackle after about a 5.5, 6-yard gain.
Darren, a sophomore, 5'9", 155. Primarily used this year more as a pass receiver. 7 grabs for 122 yards, but at times will play in that backfield and pick up significant yardage, just as he did there. As we see the crowd, a little shot there in the crowd. And man, I tell you what, every time I see that, I keep thinking, is this November?
It certainly doesn't
be.
feel like it.
Cannot be.
2nd and 4 on the 21-yard line of the Dodge Pirates. On the option, Lechtenberg to keep. Good move in the backfield, and he's going to score. Touchdown, Butte. And they're a 2-point conversion from knotting it up.
Tremendous balance and just vision of the field by Lechtenberg that time. And a lot of times when you start to move out to one direction, moving full blast like that, here comes the defense. They're running full speed. The tendency may be for the defense to overrun it, as we see the fake dive. Looks like maybe it's going to be optioned, but no, he's going to keep it and go. Now watch, overrun there, overrun there, overrun. Yep, see right there, he cuts back, and then it's just clear sailing to the end zone. And that's just an excellent job by Kyle Lechtenberg, knowing where everybody is on the field and good vision on the field.
Lechtenberg with the play fake. He's going to try to run. This may be a broken play, and it breaks down as Lechtenberg falls. 2-pointer, no good.
He was trying to get the ball into the end zone on the pass down there that time to Cody Clausen, Kevin, but everything was covered up very well. Big blanket in the end zone that time, and so he tried to go back left and slipped on the field of the turf, and that's it. But we have ourselves a 2-point game now.
You know, when we talked with Steve Colfack before the start of the 2nd half, and he mentioned something about this may be panic time, if you just had tuned in, you might have thought, boy, Butte's down 30, 40 points. They were down 8 at that point. Now they're only down 2. I certainly don't think with the offense of either of these teams at any time is panic time.
Well, if it's ever panic or desperation time, that's the kind you want right there. But anyway, it's anybody's ball game right now. It was even as we started this 3rd quarter, just an 8-point ball game. And in games like this, tremendous offense. Here comes the kickoff.
And this one, a line drive through the hands of Franz Lubers, dies down at the 2, and he'll have to pick it up. And has some running room. Franz Lubers across the 20 and pulled down. Good open field tackle made by Andy Burnt, and that saved a big run back. And we've got an injured Wildcat. It's number 30, Lance Willits, a little slow to get up near the 14-yard line.
Willits, the young man that recovered the fumble that put Butte back into this football game, and he's down there on the field trying to get up. Yeah, that's a good sign right there. A little bit of a ding going on, and he's ready to go take a little bit of a rest and come back and see what he can do.
It's good to see. You play 8-man football, as you said earlier. You learn to play with some nicks and some bumps and some bruises. And
well, when you take a look at the enrollment at Butte, 43 students, Kevin, over at Dodge, they have 53 students. So, again, you have to really, an injury is very, very significant to a football team.
1st down and 10 for the Pirates, 21-yard line. They lead it by 2, 28-26. Paulson with the carry on 1st down and a big gain after Coburn wraps him up about 6 yards past the line of scrimmage. It'll be 2nd down, 4 and 5 yards to go.
Kyle Lechtenberg on the day, 7 of 12 for 93 yards and 3 touchdowns. So he's done a marvelous job as far as rushing goes. 7 for 61 and 1 touchdown. He has been a huge offensive factor for the Butte Wildcats here this afternoon.
28-26 the score, 2nd down 5. Paulson with running room again. Look at Paulson carrying tacklers into Butte territory. He had Jerry Lever on his back for 10 yards, and unfortunately this one's coming back, a holding penalty against the Dodge Pirates.
Lots of people over on that far right side. Watch the white shirts and the blocking convoy now. As you see, Franz Luber's out there. Number 55 was Bryce Johnson, and then check it. Paulson just carries people. He probably carried people for 7 yards on that play. But Kevin, as you called it, it's going to come back. Red Baloo is about ready to give us the indication here, holding.
And there it is, the hold against the Pirates. It's fun to watch this Paulson run. You see good running from Lever on the other side of the ball. Well, Paulson carried Lever that time, as you said, Abe, for about 7 yards after first contact.
He's a tough cookie out there, Tyler Paulson. Be anxious to see him play as he moves on to his career. Here's a senior. Here's the play.
2nd and 6, 25. Paulson again. No surprise there. And Paulson with plenty of running room for a first down. Boy, Paulson left, Paulson right, a little bit of Franz Lubers, and that's been a recipe for success this year for the Dodge Pirates.
He just keeps laying them up there, and 194 yards now on the afternoon, just set to go over 200 as you see good blocking. Look at that block right there, number 80, Casey Eichmeyer. He just took his guy and pushed him right out of the way and let Paulson just step up and pick up the big first down almost at midfield.
1st and 10, 37-yard line. Paulson on the toss sweep, dives across the midfield stripe and into Butte territory near the 36-yard line. Pickup of almost 7 on first down for Tyler Paulson. And he has been very impressive here throughout this entire football game. 7 minutes to play, 3rd quarter, and Dodge on the move again, leading 28-26 in a close one.
Just went over 200 yards with that last carry, Kevin.
And he's closing in, although he's got a ways to go for that D2 record. He's got to get over 300. When we get to the 300-yard mark, we'll be certain to let you know. 2nd and 3 on the 36. Paulson again. Not a lot of running room this time as the Wildcats do a great job of shutting that one down for Butte. In on the stop, number 48, Clark Woodruff, I believe, leading the way, Abe.
Here you see Paulson again. This time the backers, the 2 defensive tackles down there closed it out pretty well, but the backers were right up tight, and they fit in with Steve Koufax's idea there about trying to get it stopped before it gets started. They did that on this play, and now you see everybody up tight on this play. 3rd down and 4.
On the toss to Paulson. He doesn't have a lot of running room. Breaks around one man. Still on his feet. Look at him go for a first down. That play, he should have lost 5 yards. Instead, he gets enough for the first. Great run.
It should be about, you're right, about 4th and 5 right now, but he picks up the first down out across the 40-yard line. See right here, everything's jammed up. Good job there. Well, I can't figure out who that number was or the number of the Butte player there, but whoever he was on that defense, it looked like it might have been Woodruff that time, 48, Clark Woodruff, that stacked it up. And there goes Paulson again. But again, excellent balance and, good, strong, tough running by Tyler Paulson. How many times have we said that today? It was Woodruff, number 48 right there.
1st and 10, 30-yard line of Butte. Paulson on the toss to the right side. Another huge block up front. Gets Paulson free for 9 yards. And a fumble on the play. Butte's got it. Paulson fumbling at the end, Aid, and a huge play. The 2nd fumble of the day for the Dodge Pirates, and Butte gets it back.
You know, you wonder, Kevin, if that fumble is just strictly from something called fatigue right now. This guy's been running the football left, right, up the middle, everywhere else, playing a good job, or doing a good job on defense also. And you just wonder maybe if that's the case right now. He just kind of lost his concentration because of his fatigue. But be that as it may, Butte has the football, and they got a shot at going ahead here.
Well, that was his 29th carry of the day. Cody Clausen on the recovery, and on first down from the 23, move it out to about the 25-yard line. Darren Lever on the carry.
29 carries for 226 yards for Tyler Paulson. About 100 short, little less than 100 short of the D2 record.
Some of the Butte faithful hoping that their Wildcats can take the lead, trailing by just 2. 2nd and 8 on their 25-yard line, the Wildcats. And on the option, Lechtenberg will keep, and Lechtenberg won't go very far. Good play by Dan Marish, the first one there. He was helped out by Casey Eichmeyer. They collapsed on Lechtenberg.
And underneath all of it, 57, Zach Parr. He was the guy that had the primary responsibility on the play, and he fulfilled that responsibility. Watch here, looking to maybe do the option play. There you see him coming from the backside. That's Zach Parr along with Dan Marish. Those two guys really deserve all of the credit for making that play.
Marish has had a good afternoon at that defensive end spot. 3rd and 8 for Butte from the 25-yard line, and Lechtenberg doesn't like what he sees. He's got an equipment problem, I believe. Something wrong with his chin strap or his helmet, and he'll pause for a moment.
I thought maybe he was getting some FM signals on his face mask.
Perhaps he's hearing us. Maybe we should call the play. Although I think he's probably better off with what Steve Colfax called.
No doubt about that.
3rd down and 8. Lechtenberg will throw to his tight end, Cody Clausen, and now Clausen stopped short, about 4 yards short by Casey Eichmeyer. Excuse me, go ahead.
Just a bootleg play that time. He's faking, he takes the snap of the football and fakes it over to the right side. And the tight end usually will go down and cross 11-man football. He's always going to be open on the crossing pattern, but this time the tight end is Clausen, and he gets over. He just goes right out to the sideline. He's still wide open out there, and Lechtenberg just drills him, and he makes the catch. But he's short of the first down. It's 4th down and 4 now. They'll have to kick.
They get into punt formation as Jerry Lever, his 3rd punt of the day, coming up. 2 of them in the first half, average of 29 yards, had a long of 55. And whistles and flags fly before this one gets going, and either a delay of game. Yep, it is a delay of game, 5-yard penalty.
You know, this set that you see right here, there are 2 wide people way left, 2 wide people to the right, and then the center and 2 guards, as we see the indication from Brent Ballou for delay of game. But Oklahoma, the Oklahoma Sooners, Kevin, they've run that set a lot this year. It's pretty amazing. Josh Heupel, their quarterback, has run it, and they've done very, very well with the set. Here comes the kick.
If you'd thought fake before, you probably don't now at 4th and 9, and it's a high kick hanging up into the wind. That one's going to be a short one, and it takes a dodge bounce and dies right at midfield at the 40-yard line. Clausen downing it there. Not a great kick, and when you're kicking into the wind, you want one of those low-line drives, not one of those high hangers like that one was.
Yeah, that one did a little moonwalk after it hit. Came right back to him about, well, what did that end up being, about a 14-yard punt? Maybe a little less than that.
Yep, right in that area.
But, again, tremendous field position now. Right at midfield, Dodge Pirates have the football.
16-yard punt, the official tally, and now the officials stopping play. A timeout taken by the Butte Wildcats. It's their first timeout used in the second half with 3:41 to play in the 3rd quarter. And the Dodge Pirates leading 28-26. Well, Nebraska ETV's look at America's largest city continues tonight with the African-American contribution and the construction of the world's tallest building. Don't miss New York tonight at 8 Central Time here on Nebraska ETV. World's tallest building, close second is the new press box here at Memorial Stadium as you get the view, and third's the state capitol right there.
I tell you what, we were just flabbergasted when we came in here this fall, Kevin. Our booth is just 2 doors down from the TV booth here, and we initially thought maybe there'd be some problems with the height and it'd be tough to see the numbers on the players' backs, but it really is a tremendous, it's a great vantage point. Before we were down lower and way to the left, and actually the vantage point not as good as what we have here, but there you see the Grand Hall up here, the Don Bryant's media facility. And
there we are.
Here, yeah. Hey, gang, how you doing?
Hello.
Right. We don't have the windows open today. We probably should. As Paulson moves down the sideline here, the near sideline.
Paulson knocked out of bounds by Lance Willits and Dusty Coburn. Tyler Paulson, 1 fumble and gets a chance to rest a bit into playing defense and comes back with a big gain on 1st down.
Take the handoff here from Eichmeyer, and look at that block right there. And then good use of the arms right there, and I like the way he hit. You see, he's to the outside with the football, no chance at all for anybody to come and knock it out of his hands. And the guy just shows me a lot of running savvy and moxie and ability here.
Good stiff arm there used on Jerry Lever, his opposite number in the offensive backfield. 1st and 10, 19-yard line for the Dodge Pirates. They fake, and now Eichmeyer to throw. Wide open in the end zone. It is dropped in the end zone by Casey Eichmeyer. Clint Eichmeyer can't believe it. He had it out there, and Casey just couldn't pull it in.
Eichmeyer to Eichmeyer is what it should have been, but again, bootleg action, play action going to the right side this time by Clint. And Casey was open for a long time back there. Had time to wax his car, actually. And you see it all one more time. Bootleg to the right. Good block out there by Bryce Johnson to keep things under control. And now the ball is headed for pay dirt. The ball, actually, Kevin, the ball thrown a little bit long. And that's why Casey had a little problem with it, but Casey should have caught in the football.
I bet he would tell you he would have caught it there. Franzluber's on the toss, and he's brought down. Nice open field tackle out there by number 88, Dusty Coburn. Franzluber's gets that corner completely turned, and he may still be running. Good tackle by Coburn.
Again, all that is a pure function of speed. You want to try to get the football out as quickly as you can to Franzluber's and leave it all up to him. Well, man, she might play in the second half, a little more the second half there. Good toss. Good toss. Tight spiral. The ball's a little bigger.
Who does she play for? Is this a Wildcat here, I believe? Might be.
I think it is. She's over on that far sideline pitching out red football.
See if Steve Colfax over there recruiting. 3rd and 6 on the option, the toss to Paulson, and he has enough for a first down, but wait, there's a flag right down near the 15-yard line. Kind of thrown in the area that you look for holding, Abe.
Yeah, it was either that or blocking in the back. And see if we can pick it out here. Yeah, right there, blocking in the back by Franzluber's.
And that'll move that one back and negate the first down carry. As you get a look at referee Brent Ballou officiating today's D2 state championship from Memorial Stadium. Along with Adrian Fiala, I'm Kevin Kugler. We are certainly happy to be here this morning, this afternoon, and we'll be here this evening and all through the weekend as state high school football takes center stage in the state of Nebraska. And can't have a better stage than the one here at Memorial Stadium for high school football.
Yeah, that line about all the world's a stage, right? Today and this weekend, the world is Memorial Stadium, no doubt about that. As the ball moved back on that clip, actually called the clip on the play, 15 yards back. The Dodge Pirates will start up again, wide open down the middle.
Eichmeyer throwing towards his tight end, and that is caught in the end zone. And there's a flag, touchdown. Zach Parr, triple coverage out there, and he somehow pulled it in. And let's see what the flag is. I think it's going to be defensive pass interference, and that's going to be a touchdown for Zach Parr.
I'll tell you what, that's just concentration by Parr. He was open as he streaked down the field, and then the coverage converged on him. 3 people converged on him. The ball kind of hanging up in the air again. This wind is a factor in that regard, but Parr comes down with it somehow. The ball just kind of dips down. We'll see it again here. See if we can pick up top of the screen. See 57, he's wide open right now, and now the ball hangs up there, but he just concentrates, and that's number 20, Jerry Lever, trying to get in there on defense, as Eichmeyer now is going to try to take it in, but he's going to have a problem with that.
Lever strips it out of his hands, and that will be no good on the 2-point conversion. 34-26. The Pirates extend their lead to 8 with 2:27 to play in the 3rd quarter on a balmy afternoon in Lincoln, Nebraska. Let's watch it again on the touchdown.
Almost has the look of the option pass as the ball just kind of floats up there, and yeah, you see right there, he did. Jerry Lever had his hand right under the right armpit of Zach Parr on the play. It just kind of gave him just a gentle nudge, but that's okay.
Well, that
still counts as a PI.
That's a terrific catch by Zach Parr. His 4th touchdown this season, and I'm guessing none have been as acrobatic as that one. That was just a terrific catch by the junior tight end.
It's called concentration by Zach Parr, and that's exactly what he had on that play. Is you see Eichmeyer lining it up, the guy that threw the touchdown pass. He'll probably drill this one to see if he can knock the goalpost over this time.
He hit it in the first half, and he drives into this one and sends it into the end zone, and a touchback, sends it into the 11-man football end zone for the touchback. Either way, it's a touchback.
You see those goalposts up there. You see Papa Post and Baby Post up there. The big white ones in the background is the crowd, the Wildcat crowd there, the Butte Wildcat crowd, cheering their team on, saying, let's go get it, guys. Move down the field. But these goalposts set up this 80-yard field here in play today, not the regular 100-yard field, as Butte breaks the huddle, and they're going to see what they can do against the Pirates here.
Kyle Lechtenberg brings out the Wildcats trailing by 8, 3rd quarter, 2:27 to go, and Lechtenberg will run up the middle. Some good blocking and a great tackle right up the middle. He was stuck by guess who? Zach Parr. Makes a great touchdown catch and then comes up and drives into Lechtenberg.
I wanted to say Zach sack, but it wasn't quite. It was about 5 yards beyond the Zach sack. But, man, what a tackle for Zach Parr. 190 pounds. He got all of that right into Lechtenberg on the play, and as soon as contact was made, Lechtenberg went straight back. He's just 160. Parr about a 30-pound advantage on him.
Kyle Lechtenberg still with a 5-yard gain on first down, and they'll take that every time. 2nd and 5, Lechtenberg back to throw. Downfield, he's got his tight end out there, and that's incomplete. Wanted Chad Warnke, and too tall for Warnke on the coverage for the Dodge Pirates, number 32, Tyler Paulson.
And again, Tyler Paulson getting nothing at all in the terms of a break here, as we see a flag down on the field right at about between the 15 and how about the 5 and the 10-yard line.
And this one, I believe, is going to be marked off against the Butte Wildcats. They're discussing it with Clint Eichmeyer.
Cats headed backward, as you can see there on the screen. And you know they're not looking for change back there. So.
Oh, they might be. You never know. There's always that possibility. More likely than not, they're not. But
might
you never
find
know.
one of those contact lenses I lost a couple of weeks ago down there. But there you see the holding call by Brent Ballou, the referee this afternoon. So that will cost the Wildcats that play. Brent Ballou, by the way, no relation to Cat. So with that,
that's good to know.
With that, we'll move on.
With that, letters are being ripped out of typewriters all across the state with that very question on it. But no more will they send it. 2nd and 18 after the hold. Waning moments of this third quarter. Lechtenberg out of the shotgun on the draw and hammered in the backfield is Darren Lever. Big play back there by Eichmeyer.
You see Eichmeyer coming up with the old cross sign. Stop right here. Clint Eichmeyer, the quarterback for this Dodge team, but he just comes right across on the snap of the play. It's going to be a little counter to the left side there, and there's 19.
What a tackle.
No chance. No chance.
And Darren Lever's fortunate to hang on to that ball because he's just getting it nestled in, and all of a sudden he's hit down. That's a good job by Lever just to hang on.
Well, he's had, as I mentioned earlier, 163 tackles, 3 sacks on the year. Doesn't say it in terms of tackles for losses, but here comes the pressure again, but he gets it away.
Throwing from his end zone, and it's dropped. Would have been a first down, but Jerry Lever couldn't haul it in, and that'll bring up a 4th down and 21. And Lever now will have to come back and punt out of his own end zone. So things not going well in the second half for the Butte Wildcat offense.
Yeah, that ball again should have been caught. Again, excellent throw and right down the far sideline. And it's right there, boy, right on the fingertips on the dead run. If he's able to hang on to it, Kevin, chances are he's got that full head of steam going. I don't know. Luke Franzen was right there with him, but it'd have been a foot race.
Lever, a good receiver out of the backfield with 17 catches this season, and he'll go back to punt it away. Into the wind, and he gets off a line drive punt. That's not a bad kick out of his end zone, and it takes a Butte roll and falls dead at the 38-yard line of the Wildcats. All things considered, I think they'll be pretty pleased with Lever's punt there out of his end zone.
I think so. The way this wind is really whipping and blowing around here in Memorial Stadium this afternoon, you see the flags across the way, just out straight over there, and again that wind swirls around down there. So to get it out from deep in your territory, get it out well almost to midfield, a pretty good job by the punter there, Lever.
D1 championship is tonight at Memorial Stadium. You'll see that tomorrow morning. We'll tape delay that for you, and it'll air at 8:30 tomorrow morning across the network. It's also live tonight on the internet if you have internet capability. Paulson on first down, fumbles the football, and it goes out of bounds. That one out of bounds near the 26-yard line of Butte, and Paulson fortunate there that he didn't lose another one.
Absolutely, getting up slowly over there now. He's got to be fatigued, no doubt about it. He's run well with that run right there. Let's take a quick look. 31 carries, 248 yards for Paulson. He's playing full-time on defense, too, covering at the left corner spot. We've seen him cover on a couple of deep routes. So he's, let's put it this way, tonight he's going to sleep very well.
I would hope so. If he doesn't, there's not going to be a workout that'll wear him out enough. First down he got with that carry. 1st and 10 to the 26-yard line of Butte. This time they'll toss to the other side, and Franz Lubers, and he gets a good block out front. Picks up approximately 6 or 7 yards, and it'll be 2nd down coming up for the Pirates. Clausen on the stop.
Again, speed there. That's just a function of speed. We've seen that play 2 or 3 or 4 times here this afternoon. where Frozubers is lined up out there on that flank and has just snapped the football, get it out to him as quickly as you can. You got to make a good pitch on the play so you don't take the concentration of the ball carrier away from what he needs to do. And so far that pitch has been good all the way through. As Eichmeyer checked with Ron Lund, his coach, he has the play, and we'll see what happens here. Some sort of razzle-dazzle may be coming up, although it's going to be quarter time.
We'll have to wait and see what happens at the start of the fourth quarter, because the third quarter is history in the D2 state championship, and the Dodge Pirates leading the Butte Wildcats 34-26. One more quarter till we crown our first champion of the day, and we'll start the fourth quarter in just a moment. And welcome back to Memorial Stadium in Lincoln. It's Dodge 34, Butte 26 here in the start of the fourth quarter. Adrian Fiala along. I'm Kevin Kugler. It is D2 state championship time here at Memorial Stadium, and it's been an exciting 3 quarters.
12 minutes left here in this football game, and again, it's anybody's game, as Kevin just told you the score, as the Dodge Pirates has set it up, and here we go. It's Tyler Paulson again.
Tyler Paulson near the goal line. He's knocked out of bounds at the 4 by Jerry Lever, and Paulson, his 33rd carry of the afternoon, and he's nearing 270 yards rushing.
He just went to 275 on that last play right there, as we see. Look at the good blocking up front. Everybody leading the convoy. There's Eichmeyer out ahead there. Franz Luber's right there. And he's about 4 yards short of a touchdown. So he needs to step up here. Just a little less than 50 yards to go. Hang on to the football. No penalties. 50 yards to go for a new record.
Dodge right now trying to add to their 8-point lead, 34-26, first and goal. Eichmeyer wants to throw, but down he goes. Woodruff got him way back at the 11 or 12-yard line.
First time they've really come with a good, strong blitz like that. You see Woodruff with the thumbs up. Watch him come from the left side here. Nobody at all is going to touch him. That's pretty easy when you have that kind of situation. Quarterback stands back there, takes a look around. All of a sudden he sees you coming. The eyes get wide as onions, and boom, you're in trouble. And that's a great play by Woodruff.
So the Dodge Pirates set back a bit. First and goal from the 4, now second and goal from the 12-yard line. On the toss, give it to who else? Tyler Paulson, and he's got a little work to do, and he can't get out of the backfield. And that time the Wildcats doing a nice job of stringing it out. Cody Clausen in there on the stop, but credit that entire front line of that Butte defense that time. They strung that play out very nicely.
They really did. They came with the blitz on the previous play, and this play here they show a good ability to string it out, to use a little bit of that quickness that they have up front, Kevin. And they shut Paulson down for no gain. That's one of the few times he's run the football today without gaining yardage.
Third down and goal to go from the 11-yard line. 34-26 the score. Dodge in the lead, and we've got a timeout taken by the Butte Wildcats. And remember this timeout, that is their second timeout that they've burned here in the second half. So trailing in the game with only one timeout left. You never know if those will come back to haunt you a little bit later on.
They usually do, as we all know. We follow enough football and seen it happen where it usually does come back to haunt you a great deal. But they lined up Paulson that time on the flank, and I think their defensive people saw Paulson out there with just Franz Luber's left in the backfield, and they said, hey, what's going to happen here? So they called timeout.
Intimate Strangers tonight at 8 on Educable. Be sure you tune in for that, as the program Intimate Strangers, see how creatures that are too small to be seen make it possible for us to live. Meet the intimate strangers that are all around us tonight at 8 Central Time on Educable. Third down and 11 to go. Third and goal from the 11 for the Dodge Pirates. 34-26 the score. 10:41 to play in this fourth quarter.
Pirate fans sensing some sort of success here today. Again, cheering their team on. Great community support, as we talked about earlier in the show. Here's Eichmeyer.
Eichmeyer wants to throw. He's harassed in the backfield. He's got to get rid of it. Lobs it out there. And it's caught by one of his linemen, Kelly Likas. The offensive lineman came back to help out. And Likas will end up getting down near the 6-yard line. And here comes the flag. That's what I thought.
Yeah.
Likas is not eligible to catch that pass.
This were 6-man to be okay, but it's not. And 6-man, again, history here in Nebraska is, you see Eichmeyer, watch the pressure here. Good job on the pressure by, looks like number 75 right there. That's Schroetland. And, you know, he was surprised about what to do. That's Kelly Likas, actually, but he still isn't eligible on the play, so that's going to cost him on the play. Kelly bobbled it around because he's not sure what I should do, Coach. Should I hang on to it or drop it? But it will be a penalty against Dodge and take him way back to, well, about the 25-yard line now or just beyond that.
That's a big penalty. Third down and goal, or fourth down and goal, I should say, from the 26-yard line. And I believe a timeout's going to be taken by the Dodge Pirates. Eichmeyer looking like he wants to call a timeout, and he does. Timeout taken, the first one by Dodge on a 4th and 26 from the 26. A long way to go. And what started a 1st and goal from the 4 has really turned into a good defensive series for the Butte Wildcats when they needed it most.
Well, their head coach, Steve Colfax, told us he needed to play desperation defense to start the second half, Kevin, and he has done that. They're not out of this ball game, however. It's 34-26. Dodge leads here with 10:24 left in the ball game. Plenty of time for a lot of things to happen. There you see Steve giving his team instruction, making sure that they know what's happening. And
well, on a windy day, only one of those windmills north of Lincoln is spinning. So either there's a malfunction or they have one shut off. We'll look into that.
I keep looking for Don Quixote somewhere and Sancho to be coming over the plains.
Either that or we're needing to get some wooden shoes with those windmills in the background. You get to see it all from atop Memorial Stadium's new press box, because if you can't see it, you're probably, I think I can see Omaha in the distance from here if you look hard enough from up here. We are way up in the sky. Fourth down and 26. 4th and goal from the 26. And out of the shotgun is Eichmeyer. He'll keep it on the option to the 20, to the 15, and still on his feet down near the 10-yard line. But that's not going to be enough for a first down. And the Wildcats get the stop they so desperately needed, trailing by 8.
Looking to try to run the option play that time. Ran it here to the short side. And, again, not enough room to maneuver. Lever over there. Jerry Lever leading the way. You just see Eichmeyer coming right at our camera. Great shot right there. And also number 38, Chad Warnicki, in on the tackle. Good job by both of those guys to slow Eichmeyer down. He's a pretty good-sized young man. 6 foot, 195 pounds, as we talked about earlier. And you got to hit him right to bring him down. And they did that.
Let's see what the Wildcats can do. Trailing by 8, and they get it on their own 11-yard line. Lechtenberg to throw. He's got Warnke out there, and Warnke lets it go through his hands and incomplete. Good coverage by Paulson. Warnke looked like he had it somewhere near the numbers and couldn't pull it in.
And, you know, you got to think, at least I would think, that Steve Colfax, head coach at Butte, would try to want to work over Paulson, because Paulson, again, here he is covering on another deep route. He's run a lot of yards today, both with and without the football. He's got to be tired over there. You might see them want to pick on him as this game winds down. 10 minutes and 9 seconds left in the fourth quarter.
2nd down, 10 from the 11-yard line. Lechtenberg electing to go into the shotgun again. And he will throw. Going down the middle towards his tight end, and that one's going to be overthrown. Wanted Cody Clausen and couldn't connect.
Ball vastly overthrown that time. Again, that wind taking it and giving it a big old ride as he's going right down the middle for Clausen. But again, on the play, Warnicki on the far side took Paulson down the far sideline again. So, wow, you know, Paulson's got to just be in tremendous shape, Kevin, about like you when you run.
Yeah,
right?
Absolutely. Yeah. This is usually the kind of shape I'd be in at this point. Yeah, absolutely. No, the shape I'd be in, it'd be a very contorted shape.
You'd be out there with a wooden stick in your mouth.
There'd
right
be
now.
an IV somewhere involved. 3rd and 10 from the 11. They throw again over the middle and complete to Clausen, and he's got enough for a first down out to the 25-yard line. Eric Harms on the stop. Hey, doesn't this surprise you a little bit? It's still a lot of time left in this game. This is a team that's rushed for nearly 3,000 yards on the season. They look as if they've kind of abandoned the rushing attack and are going straight to the throw.
Certainly have on this series. However, that play there, the same play, the exact same play they ran in the third quarter to pick up the first down to the tight end, Clausen, right over the middle. But, yeah, they did abandon the running play in that last series. And see what happens here. I guess, you know, Dodge has really limited their running ability here this afternoon. Here comes another pass play.
And Lechtenberg will throw again. Wants to go deep, and it's well covered. Now he'll have to scramble, and down he goes. Behind the line of scrimmage, Casey Eichmeyer converges to get the sack, and they'll lose about 3 yards on the play.
Casey, the sack man for the Dodge Pirates all year. He leads this team with 8, and he picks one up right there as Lechtenberg looking downfield. Everybody out on the route again, but this time the coverage is full. And there comes Eichmeyer, 5'10", 165, and he catches up with Lechtenberg and pulls him down. Second down now and about 13 to go.
Casey Eichmeyer, from a football-playing family, his brother Corey rushed for 8,300 yards as a member of Dodge High School. Lechtenberg to throw, second and 13. Deep down the sideline, and it is going to be caught by Warnke, and he'll go to the 3-yard line.
Coverage that time by Paulson. Again, Paulson trying to keep up with Warnke on the play. Look at those guys. They're both they're out of gas. Both of them are out of gas. They've been running long routes all day. Paulson hands on hips down there. He is very, very tired, and that brings the crowd right to their feet. Here's the toss again, and they're going to go over Paulson. Paulson, to his credit, he's there, but he just can't make the play. He's going step for step with Warnke, and Warnke does a great job to keep his balance right there and get the ball down. Well, they're spotting it now at about the 3-yard line. Let's call it, yeah, it is indeed the 3-yard line. So here's a carbon test for the Dodge Pirates.
I formation, first and goal from the 3. The give up the middle to the fullback Lever towards the end zone. Touchdown, Wildcats. Darren Lever into the end zone. No, that's Willits. Lance Willits into the end zone for the touchdown. Willits, who was injured earlier in the second half, back in for the score.
5'6", 170 pounds, and second effort really brings it in here. Watch him here. He just, boom, there's one hit. Keeps those feet moving, keeps digging, keeps churning, and goes right over the guy that hit him and puts it in across the yellow stripe. So, wow, what a great play that is. Now they will line up and try to tie up this ball game, go for 2 here.
8:34 to play. The attempt to tie for the Butte Wildcats. Lechtenberg wants to throw. Going over the middle, tipped, and it's intercepted by Eichmeyer. And Clint Eichmeyer saves the day for the moment for the Dodge Pirates. It remains a 2-point Pirate lead.
Eichmeyer and Paulson making big plays along with Franz Lubers all day. So we'll see it right here again as Lechtenberg looking, trying to throw back. Was that Bryce Johnson? I think it was Bryce Johnson. Tips the football up, and Eichmeyer saves the lead for the Dodge Pirates here. And they will now get the football as the Wildcats will line it up. 8:34 left in the ball game. 2-point lead by the Dodge Pirates.
And now the Pirates will go back on offense, and we'll see how much Tyler Paulson has left. 34 carries, 276 yards. You figure he's going to get the call again. You ride the hot hand as long as you have it, but his hand has got to be cooling off quite a bit today. He is exhausted.
His hand's probably still pretty hot, but his legs are really starting to cool off a whole bunch as here comes the kickoff.
And this kickoff with a wind at his back, Willits sends it off of the base of the goal standard, and well, it'll be back out to the 15-yard line after the touchback. We've seen a lot of kickoffs go into the end zone today on both sides of the ball.
You got a game 34-32. That is, you get to see a lot of special teams play in the form of kickoffs here this afternoon. So, key now is for Paulson, though, Kevin, is to hang on to the ball. He needs to make sure that his concentration level stays where it is and hang on the football.
He has it on first down.
Wow, look at that.
Look at him bull his way forward for 10 yards. Lechtenberg got him after about 4 yards into the run, and he pushed his head down, lowered the shoulder, and lowered Lechtenberg 6 more yards.
Yeah, at about the 18 or 19-yard line. Watch this here. Bingo. Now he's going to go for a ride. Let's go for, well, that's not quite an e-ticket ride yet, but it got close to it. But Lechtenberg, he got over there. To his credit, he got in his way and provided a little bit of the impetus to slow him down and get help on the tackle and finally bring Paulson down. Paulson with that carry up to 286.
Yeah, impressive. I mean, here's a kid's carried it 35 times, and he still has the strength to do that in the fourth quarter. 1st and 10. On the option, the toss goes to Paulson again, and Paulson converged and brought down at the 31-yard line. A couple of folks in on the tackle. Number 80, Cody Clausen, and number 88, Dusty Coburn.
Look at him getting up very slowly right there. You can tell that he's tired. You know, all the carries he's had, Kevin, plus all the coverage on defense he's had this afternoon really has contributed to the fatigue. But, you know, they run that play in the first quarter. I think that probably breaks and goes because he had enough spark to get through those two guys. But right now, he's just running on empty as they break the huddle at the second down now and about 3 yards to go.
About 30 yards away from the state championship game rushing record. The toss this time to Franz Lubers. Good change of direction, but on 2nd and 3, he will not get anything. In fact, he'll lose a yard, and the ball popped loose at the end. And let's see, they're going to say he's down by contact. The Butte coaching staff, Steve Colfax, was hoping it was the other way around, but didn't get the call. Just a loss of 1, 3rd and 4.
Ball's dead when you hit the ground. Again, a lot of people think the ground causes a fumble. That doesn't happen. When you hit the ground, it's dead, and there is no ground causing the fumble as the Pirates break the huddle here now. Need a first down here.
And they give it to their money man, Paulson. And look at Tyler Paulson picking his way up to near the 40-yard line. Art Schroetlen on the stop. But Paulson again, when you need yardage, you give it to Tyler Paulson. When we talked earlier in the week to Ron Lund and you ask him, who do you give the ball to when you need yards? He's the guy he mentioned. You can see why.
Good block right there by Eichmeyer, Clint Eichmeyer, again blocking the pursuing. It looked like Lever coming up to pursue right there, but he blocked him right out of the play as, again, nearing that record, 3:01 for Tyler Paulson.
6:35 to play. Paulson with another carry, goes right up the middle and moves it from the 39-yard line of Dodge to about the 38-yard line of Butte. And you can see Paulson slow to get up again. This kid has been a warrior today. And he is closing in on the all-time rushing record in a state championship game in D2.
Just taking a quick look again, Kevin, again, for any game performance in any round of the playoffs, a rushing record in D2. 322 yards, Chris Kelgard, Bancroft Rosalie in 91, and Chris Sullivan, Elgin that is, in 94.
Eichmeyer on the option gains about 3 yards from the 38 to the 35 on 2nd and 7. Make it 3rd and 4 coming up for the Pirates. And more importantly for Dodge, with a 2-point lead, they keep that clock running, 5:40 and counting to play in this 4th quarter.
17 yards short now, Tyler Paulson, of that record. And let's hope that somebody on the sideline knows that. Hopefully they will adjust. However, the most important thing is the win, and it's a 2-point margin right now, so you've got to control the football, take care of the football. Here comes the snap.
And the toss goes to Paulson. He cuts it back up the middle across the 30 and down to the 28-yard line. Another first down. Clark Woodruff on the stop. And Paulson is even closer to that record. Watch it again.
Good pitch, good control, allows him to look upfield, pick and choose where he wants to go, and picks up the first down, a critical first down for this Dodge team. As the clock continues to wind now, it'll be under 5 minutes when this play ball is snapped here for this play. 2-point margin for Dodge.
34-32, first down and 10, 28-yard line. Flags fly and motion along that line.
Actually, what it was is Clark Woodruff was in the neutral zone for the Butte Wildcats, and as soon as that happens, Kevin, the flags fly. It's not like in college. You can usually get back. They don't call it that quickly. But this, in high school football, whenever you break the plane of the neutral zone, the referees will throw the flag, and that's what happened there as Woodruff stepped across. Clark Woodruff.
First and 5, 23-yard line. The Dodge Pirates leading by 2 on the toss. And now the throw. Paulson wants to throw the football. Everybody's covered, and he slips, nearly brought down. Paulson still on his feet. Look at him go. Flags fly on the play, and look at Paulson down to the 20-yard line. How he got out of that situation, I have no idea, but a clip is going to be called against the Dodge Pirates. But what athleticism by a very tired young man.
Yeah, so that's the key element right there. He's trying to get the football to somebody else right here, and you think right here he's going to get caught. But somehow, I tell you what, this is incredible. This is absolutely incredible to have enough stamina after what he's done today to stay with it and then get upfield and pick up yardage. But watch him, well, we probably won't have it now, but when he was down there, he stayed down on a knee, Kevin, for quite a while, trying to collect himself and trying to get that strength back as the play is going to come back from the spot of the foul. It's a clip and comes back all the way to the Dodge 30-yard line.
That's a killer penalty, and had Paulson not had to scramble 20 yards behind the line of scrimmage, it wouldn't hurt him as much. First down and 32 yards to go from the 30-yard line. 4.5 minutes and counting to play, and Dodge leading by 2. Butte's defense trying to muster up one last stand here in this 4th quarter.
Paulson needs 11 yards to set a new record.
And he'll get a few of them here as he gets the carry up the middle, but not too much. As a good job by the middle of that Butte defensive line. Looked like Lance Willits was the first to get to him from his linebacker spot. And some anxious moments for those
Saying
fans.
enough about that offensive line for the Dodge Pirates today. They have done a tremendous job up front. Zach Parr at a tight end. Bryce Johnson, we've seen him a number of times leading the play. Dan Marish, a good job. And there you see Paulson again, just basically up there on his own. Kelly Likas out there leading the blocking on that play, however.
And Art Schroetland, the first man to get him. 2nd down and 30. Eichmeyer. And nowhere to go for Eichmeyer. He gets hammered at the end by Cody Clausen. Kind of taken down low, and Clausen got him up high, and a minimal gain on 2nd and 30 for the Pirates.
Clausen got what we call a teeth rattler here. Watch this one as Eichmeyer is looking around. He wants to run. He wants to make it go. And now number 80 is going to take it, boom, right there. And that sometimes will create a new set of molars for you about 3 weeks from now. But again, a tremendous hit by Cody Clausen.
3rd down and 29. The Butte Wildcat defense trying to get one stand going here. Eichmeyer to throw. Lobbing it downfield, and it is caught, I believe, by number 80, Casey Eichmeyer, at the 20-yard line and out of bounds. Great catch by Eichmeyer. It'll be 2 yards shy of the first down.
Great catch, great throw by Clint. Clint dropped it in there. Lots of defenders converging on the receiver this time. You see Casey signaling, "Here I am, give me the football." And there are 2 maroon jerseys around the football, but the ball drops in, and they're about 3 yards short of that first down, as you call it, Kevin. So Eichmeyer now into the huddle, and let's see what happens here as Paulson will line up. He's lined up deep behind the quarterback. France Uber's to the left.
4th and 3, Paulson on the toss. And Paulson's going to be stopped short of the first down. Woodruff got him and wouldn't let go.
You kind of had an idea that that's where they would go, with France Uber's kind of lined up fairly tight over there on the left side. The toss pitch to Paulson on the play, but he's going to come up short on it. And, man, you just have to admire this kid for hanging in there as tough as he is this afternoon. Wow. Just battling everybody as best as he can with whatever he's got left and putting it right there on the turf.
His 41st carry of the day for 317 yards rushing. I don't know if you agree, Adrian, but that's not a bad day's work.
Oh, man. Remember a few years ago when you and I played football, 41 carries would be the season.
If you got that many, you were lucky. Lever up the middle on 1st and 10 across the 25 to the 26-yard line. And a gain of 6 yards on the play for Lever. But now Butte working not only to get the lead, but working against the clock. They've only got 1 timeout in their pocket and 2:25 on the clock. You've got to be kind of tricky when you do this. You want to score, but you want to score late enough that you don't leave any time for Dodge to come back and get more points on the board.
That is the ideal, but believe me, if they get a quick one, they'll take it.
2nd down 4, 26-yard line. Lechtenberg running and tripping down at the line of scrimmage.
Taking a quick look across the field over there.
And he may be hurt, Adrian.
We got somebody down.
Lechtenberg may have hurt himself as he hit down.
Looks like he has a leg cramp. They're attending to the left leg over there. And the trainer's working on him like he would work on an individual that has a cramp in the leg. The other comment I was going to make, Kevin, is that as we see it again here, let's take a look quickly. Yeah, he stumbles right there. It looked like his left calf just cramped up on him. See, he's grabbing the calf right there? They're trying to massage it and get it loose. That is tough because you just can't move. You can't do anything when that muscle knots in your calf. You just can't move at all. So the other point I wanted to make, however, is that Tyler Paulson is playing the left corner for the Dodge defense here in the late going. He's been over there actually all afternoon at the cornerback spot. So they have picked on him a couple of times in terms of the long ball, and let's see if they do that again here as they continue to try to loosen up that left leg of the quarterback, Kyle Lechtenberg.
Interesting situation possibly for Butte. If Lechtenberg cannot get himself righted, and he cannot, who will play quarterback? They've got a freshman listed at quarterback in Jesse Vogt, but there are no statistics listed for Vogt at all. So who will come in to play quarterback? We will see. It might be Lever. Jerry Lever, who was the All-State quarterback last year, will play the quarterback spot, I would imagine.
It is.
And so I guess you don't lose a whole lot. You get an all-stater out, and you get an all-stater back in from last year in Lever. You ought to know what he's doing.
Just got to hope you have a good exchange on the snap here.
3rd and 4, critical play as well, and flags all over the place. Someone lined up in the neutral zone, or is it against the Wildcats for movement? It is a big 5-yard penalty against Butte. 3rd down and 9 now.
That is a huge penalty, Kevin. You know, just 4 yards away. Now they're 9 yards away from a first down, and they lost time on the play also. They lost about 9 seconds on the play also. So 1:41 left here. 2-point lead by Dodge. Crunch time, super crunch time for the Butte Wildcats.
Jerry Lever, running back, last year's All-State quarterback, will throw. Now keeps it on the draw. Has a little room, but not enough. Eichmeyer got him right near the 24-yard line, and it's going to be 5 yards short of the first down. 4th and 9, or actually 4th and 5 coming up, and the Butte Wildcats will take their final timeout with 1:18 to play in this football game, trailing by 2.
I was waiting for them to go ahead and signal for that timeout. They have done that now with, as you said, Kevin, 1:18 to go, and this is ball game for them right here, as they will confer. Their coach, Steve Colfack, is out there conferring with them right now, trying to come up with the play that will get them the first down and maybe more. We shall see what that play will be here in a very short amount of time.
Boy, you've got to talk about your back against the wall, so to speak. You've had trouble moving the ball in the second half anyway against a good Dodge defense, and then you lose your quarterback with 2 plays to go in your potential season. And now he is back in. Kyle Lechtenberg is back on the field at quarterback, 4th and 5, and he'll step into the shotgun. The season on the line for the Butte Wildcats on 4th and 5, trailing by 2. Lechtenberg throws, and that one is incomplete off the hands of Chad Warnke, and the Dodge Pirates will take over, 1st and 10 from the Butte 24.
Valiant effort that time by the Butte Wildcats trying to get that first down, and an even bigger and more valiant effort by the guy defending over there on the left side, and that's Tyler Paulson. This is a young man playing that left corner right there, 32. They're picking him over, and he's going to have a shot now to, with 1:13 to in this ball game, to tie or break the record here for rushing. 322 is a record for rushing. He has 317. Here we go.
5 yards to tie, and they're just going to down the football. Just going to take a knee, and 2nd down to go.
Well, that tells the tale then right there.
1,352 folks in the stands today, the attendance for this first game.
Good crowd on hand. These 2 small towns, one from north central Nebraska.
These 2 small towns are empty today for the most part. Somebody's back there holding down the fort, and we salute you, whomever you may be. 2nd down and 12, and he'll take a knee again, will Clint Eichmeyer, and the Dodge Pirates will be happy to get back to Dodge with a state championship in tow. It'll be their 5th state championship of the 1990s. They won D1 in 94, in 95, and in 96 they won D2 in 97. Their string was interrupted last year when Butte won the D2 state championship, but Dodge will be back atop the heap again with a win. One more snap, and this ball game will be over. Eichmeyer snaps it, and the Dodge Pirates are the 1999 Class D2 state champions. Congratulations to the Pirates. They win it today, 34-32 over the Butte Wildcats. We'll return with some final thoughts from Memorial Stadium in just a moment. Stick around. There you see the final tale. The Dodge Pirates are our first state champion of 1999, winning 34-32, and standing by with us down on the field is Dodge Pirate head coach Ron Lund. First, Coach, congratulations on the state championship.
Oh, thank you.
Well, Coach, an exciting day and a great day from your running back, Tyler Paulson. What an effort he put out today. He's got to be one worn-out young man.
Well, yeah. You know, Tyler's kind of carried the team a lot of the year and has been picking up the most of the yards. And, you know, it looked like his leg was bothering him a little bit there in the 4th quarter. And he really just gutted it out and stayed in there and said he could fight through it. and really wanted to win the title.
Ron, just so you'll know, on the off afternoon, Tyler had 41 carries for 317 yards.
Oh, wow.
That a surprise to you?
Well, yeah, that's a lot more carries than we usually ever give him.
He was 5 yards short of the D2 record.
Well,
but you won. That's the key.
Yeah, I said records. We just wanted the gold medal. The records are secondary.
You know, one of the things that really impressed me about him is obviously his stamina is one of the keys. But on the last few plays on defense, he was playing that left corner over there, and they were obviously picking on him, but he was able to come up and make plays for you on defense even.
Well, yeah, you know, they burned him on the long play, and you know, coming back for the next series, you know, I think he really showed some guts and made a real big play there on 4th down to preserve the title.
Coach, I was real impressed with your defensive play in the second half. What adjustments did you make after they scored 26 in the first half to hold them to 6 points in the second half?
Well, I don't know if we adjusted a whole lot. You know, they surprised us when they came out in the second quarter and they threw the ball like that against the wind. And that kind of took us by surprise. You know, we just had our DBs maybe step up their coverage a little bit. And we did a nice job of taking care of the run. And so it kind of forced them to pass the ball. And so we could focus on really one thing instead of having to try to guard both.
Well, Coach, congratulations on your state championship. It's your second year as a head coach. You didn't win one last year. How's it feel to win one as a head coach as opposed to winning one as an assistant coach?
Well, it feels real good. It feels real good.
Well, congratulations to you. Enjoy the rest of your evening today.
All right, thank you.
The Dodge Pirates state champions finishing the year 12-1. And let's watch the last touchdown, the one that put them atop, 34-32. Now, 3 guesses here, and no, it's not going to go to number 32, Tyler Paulson.
Looking downfield, and that's Zach Parr that's going to take the football. He got a little bit of a shove there. That was, again, Jerry Lever. That not too much, not a critical move right there. As there you see Tyler Paulson. He's ecstatic. This ball game is over. He is a state champion, no doubt about that. He's a champion in many more ways than just that. And there they are.
Yeah, they're excited.
Everybody is rocking and rolling over there on the Pirates side.
What a fun day for the Pirates, and a great game this afternoon. The Butte Wildcats really put up a terrific fight this afternoon, as you would expect from a defending state champion. And look at those final numbers in rushing yards, 427. We see a lot of numbers like that at Memorial Stadium on a weekly basis, but it's usually a team with an N on their helmet, not a team in blue and white.
And that's about 3 times what Butte had picked up on the ground, a little over that, as a matter of fact. 427 yards rushing, 488 total on the day. They lost a couple of fumbles. In spite of that, still come up with the 34-32 victory over the Butte Wildcats. And Kevin, you have to hand it to Butte, however, to Steve Kolpak, the head coach there, Monty Larson, the assistant coach, and all of the guys that played for their football team this afternoon. They were at what looked like it may be a blowout in the early going in the first quarter. They stepped it up. Lance Willits causes a fumble. They recover that ball about the 20-yard line and take it on in. And they stood and they battled, and that's what you like to see in a state championship game. You don't like to see the blowout. You don't want to see the 45-point rule in 8-man football ever invoked in a championship game. You want to see the battle ensue, and it did today for Butte.
Well, we've talked a lot about Tyler Paulson, but a Butte Wildcat that I was real impressed with was Kyle Lechtenberg, the quarterback today, who showed a real strong and a very accurate throwing arm a lot of times. Those 2 touchdown passes into the wind were as nice a touchdown passes as you'll ever see.
He threw that corner post route. Again, I have not seen it thrown that well anywhere this year. I mean, tremendous toss for that touchdown pass. As we see the award ceremony now, there is number 38, Chad Warnicki. Excellent afternoon here today. Caught a number of passes. Let's take a quick look here as far as Warnicki. 4 catches for 108 yards, 3 touchdowns for that young man. Excellent afternoon for that youngster. He led the team coming in to this football game. 24 carries for 600 yards and 12 touchdowns. Add 108 to that and 3 more TDs. There's a guy that really was a workhorse this afternoon. That's Jared Franslubers for the Dodge Pirates. Franslubers on the day, 11 carries, 74 yards, and he played some defense for the Pirates here this afternoon. He and Paulson, along with all those guys up front, Parr and Johnson and Marish and Likas and Eichmeyer, Casey Eichmeyer, doing a great job to keep the offense rolling.
It was a terrific afternoon, and it came down to a 2-point conversion.